Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
And a good Tuesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We're live on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We're also wherever you can get your podcast. The EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. 50% off, 12 weeks. It ends December 15th. Check them out, sentinel.ca. Matt Iwanyk with you as always here on the Hangout. Today's going to be a fun Hangout today. Zachticum coming in early to join us here on the Hangout. Fergie's Prostate making his return to the Hangout. And Dustyn with a Y, another nasty coming in as
first
well.
Timer.
Thank you for coming in, gents. All three of you, late notice from yesterday, so I
Not a problem. No. I had to move a few things around.
I'm sure you did. I love that today I'll just spoil some things. Fergie brought notes. So
I did some prep for the show.
He was trying to be Jasmine, which I respect.
I'm not going to sit on my phone for the next 2 hours. There's the difference.
And Fergie also brought us a gift. I'm going to keep it covered a little bit. We'll try it soon. He brought us haggis.
It smells really good.
Yeah,
We have
kind of goes with the shirt.
haggis in studio. I said it last week, I think it was, that I've always wanted to actually try haggis. So I thought maybe you were listening, but you didn't hear that. You just thought you'd bring us haggis.
Well, I didn't have to rely on Canada Post to bring the haggis. I brought it, so we're good to go. Just a quick shout out to Joelle. She's going under the knife tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what the procedure is, but sending best wishes from Edmonton. And you'll notice the guys on this side are wearing hats because Zach and I washed our hair today, and we didn't have to put hats on.
Literally, I chose not to wash my hair today. That's why I had on. Straight up.
I was thinking about it too. I'm like, should I?
You know, Jasmine's not here, so I got to cover off the fashion episode.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're looking great. Like the plaid, it really
it's a
stands
great
out.
looking
Yeah.
shirt.
Oh, I love this shirt.
First thing I saw.
It's his soccer kit. It represents
No, it's not.
Aberdeen soccer.
It's not
Fergie
soccer.
is a major soccer fan. He likes to call it his football, and he doesn't care about anything else.
This is not a soccer shirt because this is a rugby shirt because they come in a man size. Not like those soccer shirts for the spoon chests that are out there. I'm going to offend a whole lot of people. I apologize.
Don't worry, we got the haggis here. Okay, I'm going to say this right off the bat, though. I'm surprised that there are people that don't know what haggis is.
That was the first thing you asked me today. I had no clue what it was, and I still kind
Dusty
of don't.
didn't know what it was, and Trev didn't know what it was.
I know of it. I've never seen it, actually.
Exact same.
Right?
I've never tried it, never seen it, except pictures online. But I've always felt like most people know kind of what haggis is.
Yes, yeah.
And that's when Zach came in, like, have you tried haggis? He says, what's haggis? I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's
he's a
something new to
child,
me.
right?
Well, still.
Where did you grow up? Here?
Here in the city.
Well, it's more, if it was a Ukrainian dish, you probably would know it, right? As opposed to the Scots.
Yeah, I've tried a lot.
Back to this jersey, 1997. The Aberdeen Strollers.
I didn't know there was more to this.
The Aberdeen Strollers played in the Golden Oldies rugby tournament in Vancouver, and they were shorter guys. So I said, yeah, I'll play for you. And we won all our games. And they gave me this shirt, and I'm a lifetime member, honorary. Great mob. Wow. Just a great mob. They drink a bit. It's hard to keep pace with them. Anyway.
I didn't know that rugby people drank. I thought they were very sober people.
We don't do oranges at halftime. That's for the soccer guys. We have a little shot.
I text
Maybe some haggis.
I text the picture of haggis to Yukon Jack, who's a Scot. And you know what this is? And he knew it was haggis. He says, you could tell it's haggis because it looks bleeping horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't look the
I don't
most
think it looks
appetizing.
that bad.
It's just
smells
meat
really
mush.
good.
It's what it looks like.
It looks
right?
like what?
It looks like meat mush.
Like
kinda,
when I
you
first opened it to heat it up, and we should try it right away before it gets cooler. I saw it like it looked like a meatloaf to me. And then I put the spoon in it and it squishes a lot more than a meatloaf. Like meatloaf is more solid. I was like, oh, so it's like a mushy meatloaf maybe.
Well, like I say, it smells really good.
So it's like spread up. Like, would you put this on something? Because it's barley
yeah,
and
a plate.
Okay, well, do you put anything else with it, or is it just something that you have?
No, you can have it at any time. If you go to a pub and you want a quick lunch in Scotland, you can get haggis, tatties, and neeps, which is mashed potatoes and mashed turnips. That's just like a staple. But In addition, at a Burns dinner, you'll have Ayrshire bacon soup. Then your main course is haggis, roast beef, tatties and neeps, and then you usually have an apple pie for dessert.
Wow.
And that's coming up next month.
What's
Burns
coming up?
dinners.
Robbie Burns Day?
Yep, 25th of January, which it's his actual birthday, and it actually falls on a Saturday. So Edmonton Police Service will have one. All the big bands, the RCMP band, have theirs at the Italian Cultural Center.
On St. Albert Trail?
Yeah, great event. I encourage anybody to go to it.
I like this. Rip City Steph saying Zach being the nicest person in the world would be put to the test this episode.
Well, I mean, I'll try it. Unlike Dusty, I'll give it a go, right?
There's no fish in it, so you're good.
No,
I'm giving it a go now.
Oh yeah.
Are we all
yeah,
good?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's try some haggis here.
You guys tuck into the haggis. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to my posse out at the in the Lower Mainland and Oceanside, California,
God. Take what you
and Chris
want.
Douglas over in Carbridge in Scotland.
Okay.
May or may not be watching this, and maybe my boys. Zach, you're looking at it like I don't know whether to eat this or
very mushy.
Clean it up.
I'll go. It's a mushy meatloaf.
It's only mushy because I added water to it because it will dry out a little bit.
It's got an interesting little spice at the end.
Yeah, it's called pepper.
No, it's not pepper. I'll go with it's not bad.
It's not bad. Texture was different than I thought it would be.
It'll make poo. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't say a bad word at all.
No, you're saying what will happen of it.
I've taken my medication today.
Did you
It
try
has
it?
nutrients.
Are you-
Yeah, it's great.
You think
It tastes
it's
really
great?
good.
Okay, well there we go.
It tastes like meat,
Yeah,
but it tastes like really good meat, well seasoned.
but there's barley in it, a little bit of onion, pepper. Pretty
I
basic
do
stuff.
like barley and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I could safely say I don't think I would ever order it. But if it was given to me or if I was at a dinner and it was there, I would eat some.
Yeah,
that's
I think
fair.
that's the way I would go with that.
That's
Come on
fair,
up to
yeah.
the St. Albert Rugby Club on Friday, the 24th of January, where we'll be having our 5th annual Burns dinner. You'll hear me and some of the guys from the St. Albert Fire Department pipe band.
It's close to a Malonka date. Have you been to
Except-
a Malonka?
I don't.
You can get
Last
You
year,
can get a cream for that, can't you, Malonka?
I think they offer one.
well, so that's the 12th and the 13th.
Well, Christmas is the Ukrainian Christmas is the 7th.
6th, 7th.
Yeah.
So then it's a week later.
Yes. Yeah.
But last year, Ukrainians didn't celebrate Ukrainian Christmas because
The war.
the Russians,
Yes.
and so they moved it up. And I don't know if Ukrainians this year, like in Ukraine or here in Edmonton, are doing the same thing this year, if they're going to celebrate 24, 25 and not celebrate the old calendar.
Yeah, I haven't got the email, so
I haven't looked at that yet. I have to go read on that. But then the Ukrainians, though, celebrated Easter on the old calendar, which made no sense to me last year.
yeah, it's
So I don't know what we're doing.
we pick and choose.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
I like January 7th for Christmas because you wait for the sales, then you buy. It's perfect.
Yeah, except now we got Black Friday, so all of November everything's on sale.
And Cyber
trickling
Monday.
into December, and then it goes to December probably like 14th, and then it's the Christmas sales, and then the post-Christmas sales or Boxing Day sales for like a month and a half. So like 2 months, 2.5 months of straight sales, which I don't complain. Don't complain, but it's not Black Friday. November.
Thank you for bringing the haggis in.
You're welcome.
I don't mind it.
Zach, there's
I'll have to try
leftovers
some.
for you, man.
I'll definitely-
You can take it home.
It might be for lunch.
Seriously?
It might be my. Oh yeah.
Good
yeah,
for
I
you.
take
Yeah,
one
there you
bite.
go.
I enjoy it. Like it stays there. I still have the taste in my mouth, which is good. I think. Like you don't want it to completely disappear, right?
Well, depending on what the taste is.
Depending on
if
what
it's
it
a
is.
terrible taste, you'd absolutely want it to disappear.
it's pepper
This
and
isn't
meat,
that.
yeah.
So, but like, depending on certain things, like when Dusty ate his artichoke, he didn't want that to linger. He didn't want that to stick as well. He wanted to get rid of that as quickly as possible because
Of course, it's a vegetable.
Does Tammy encourage the children to eat healthy?
I believe so.
That's good.
Well,
I
broccoli
think
is
she has better
tiny
success
trees
with that one.
because they're not that young.
Because I'll tell you, in not too long a time from now, Dusty is going to have some gastrointestinal problems unless he starts moving some fiber in there. We've had this
Hey,
discussion.
There's
before.
fiber
Al
in here.
Michaels
There's
doesn't eat
fiber in here.
vegetables. There is no way Dusty will try haggis, I don't think. But
think
I
he
don't see anything in this that he wouldn't like.
If
Yeah.
you didn't tell him it was haggis, if you said it was a meatloaf, he might try it,
Yes.
right? And that's basically what it is.
Or put some ketchup on it, which I would I would punch anybody that did that.
Well, it's
also,
already
like-
salted enough, right?
Yeah.
Like there's already enough seasoning. Would it be disgraceful to add anything else to this as it already is?
Well, the Asian princess, she would put hot sauce on that 3 times the speed of light.
That's what we said when I walked in.
But
There's some hot
I
sauce in there.
like it with a little bit of horseradish.
I would like it with a little bit of like a hot sauce.
Yeah.
I think that'd be delicious.
Or some Harry Hill mustard.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, Big Uke and I like the Harry Hill mustard.
Oh, is Big Yuka Haggis guy?
Well, he's not a haggis guy. He's just a mustard guy.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe like with that on haggis or something like that. But no, like we had pierogies here. My parents brought pierogies and cabbage rolls last Friday.
I know I wasn't invited to stay.
I did absolutely invite you to stay.
I felt awkward.
I said it's coming at like 11 o'clock and like feel free if you'd stick around.
I
But,
wasn't dressed for it. I had my sweats on.
but so there was, my parents brought 2 types of, well, pyrohe for the Ukrainians out there. Don't
Yes.
get mad at me. But they brought one with like cabbages inside of it, sauerkraut, and one with potatoes. And Dusty went up and he wasn't going to eat any of it.
What?
And Hernan was like, why aren't you going to eat it? He's like, I don't like it. I don't know what's in it. And Hernan's like, one's just potatoes, dude.
Potatoes and
So
dough.
he ate it, but then he ate it. He wanted ketchup with it. And I'm like,
my
well, we don't
God.
have ketchup with that stuff. But that's where it's like, if we put out the haggis, we said this, we've got a softened meatloaf with ketchup here, Dusty. Do you want some? I think he might have some.
I think so.
Sure.
But now that we said it's haggis, he would not have one.
No.
It's just foreign. Any foreign object is just, well, it's not really foreign though.
It's
All
not
the
veggies.
ingredients
There's
are
no
the same,
veggies
yeah.
in this. There's no seafood in this. There's nothing I don't think he wouldn't like in this.
Well, I've met his mom, and I'm sure she's a crackerjack cook, being a farm girl, and then why he would develop the way he has. But I mean, he likes Creed, and
Who doesn't?
oh Jesus.
I'm going to that concert, no doubt.
Well, good. Eric's coming fishing with me. On he's already texted
He's skipping
me.
it.
Yeah,
You're
he's
going to
already-
miss Mammoth, the
He's
opener
already
for
asked me
Metallica.
if there was room on my boat, and I said absolutely all day long. And I got to give him a shout out for having the courage to go on a bit of an anti-Creed rant. I'm all about that.
I'm not for or against Creed. They're all right. I don't know.
I'll have to
banned.
go listen to
I wouldn't-
Eric's comments today.
I wouldn't go and listen to them like you were saying about eating. I wouldn't go listen to Creed. Go out of my way to. But if they come on, they're okay.
If they were an opener to a band you wanted to see and
Yeah.
you were there, you'd maybe sit down and listen to Creed.
Yes.
But since they're the headliner, you're not buying tickets to go see Creed.
Yeah, you're buying tickets to go see Big Wreck and Mammoth.
Are those big bands for you?
Yeah, well, not really. I saw Mammoth though when I went to the Pantera and Metallica concert, so they were that opener that day. I don't know. I might know a song from Big Wreck. I've seen the name. I know they're Canadian,
I like Big Wreck.
but
Big Rec's good.
yeah.
I haven't heard from them in a while.
I know.
So I was surprised when they made that announcement too.
You're not liking my Crocs, hey?
Oh, you're looking
No,
at
I
Big
just
Rock.
I didn't say I didn't like them. It's like haggis. You either I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, I
Are
got a
those your
couple.
indoor shoes?
My indoor shoes, yeah.
Because
I like
it's
keeping it
snowing
clean
like a
here.
bugger outside right now.
Oh yeah, no, I brought my I had my
Okay.
big boots that I brought in. We need a little mat to put our shoes though.
It melts on the carpet.
We
It
got
melts
a
on the
map.
carpet.
Yeah.
That's not, we're tenants here. Who cares?
By the time you run up the stairs, the snow's knocked off a bit.
Yeah.
I like bringing it in sometimes. I want to build a snowman in here one day.
Inside the office?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, have fun with that.
Right at the front, you said it's okay.
Did you
Anyways.
write in any confessions this morning on the nasty chat about peeing in the pool?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
so gross.
I was listening the whole time, but I didn't.
The French word for swimming pool is piscine, which kind of makes it
Yeah.
obvious as to what's going to go on in there.
I guess, yeah.
Have you ever peed in a pool, Matt?
We've all peed in a pool. Anyone that says they haven't at one point in
I
their
peed
life
in a
is
pool one
lying.
time and people were furious. Mind you, I was standing on the diving board when I did it.
I did see
Warming it up.
there was a TikTok where somebody put something in a pool so that if somebody peed in it, like the color changed around.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that always a threat?
But it happens, and so this one person was in the pool, and all of a sudden they see like the color change around them, like, hey, look, you peed in the pool and stuff like that. Like the attempt is to not to do it, but we've all done it in our life.
Well,
Like,
hopefully it wasn't a pool of red. That was just like they had to make it a certain color where. it
Yeah, I
just
can't
didn't
remember. I
work,
think it was
you know?
actually a red color.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh.
and some guy was
That'd be
there and it was just
alarming.
going, and so
Yeah.
Yeah, but they all then knew what it was, and they're mocking him because it wasn't your regular colors and things like that.
Well,
Was that a confession today on the morning show?
Yeah, Trev said he did. So I'm never swimming with Trev. I know that.
Wait, he said, like, when did he do this?
I think he does it, is what I got from it nearing the end of the show in the rap. He was saying that, well, I learned that everyone pees in the pool. I'm not the only one.
I think everyone does, but
Everyone does.
not everyone admits it.
If you
time
say
and a
you've
place.
never peed in a pool, you're a liar. Straight up. Just throwing that out there.
100%.
Now, I think most people, though, would still try to make the effort to get out of the pool nowadays as you get older. When you're a kid, who cares?
Depends on how many drinks you've had. Like somebody said this morning, if you're at a swim up bar, you're not leaving your drink.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Oh, no.
I've never been to a swim bar, thankfully.
Yeah, no, I never want to go.
I was in one in Montego Bay. Haven't been back since.
That would, yeah, okay. That's a good thought thing to have now. Actually,
You're welcome.
as long as you don't like actively try to do it. Like Trev's 26. Obviously, if he's in a pool, he shouldn't try to relieve himself in the pool. He should attempt to try to get out, unless he's at a swim up bar and you've kind of your mindset has been altered.
This is
like
Edmonton
littering.
Sports Talk Radio, where we don't talk sports.
It's a hangout.
If there is a show on Edmonton Sports Tech that talks the least amount of sports, you're on it right now.
What do you got, Trev? Or
Trev,
Dustin?
Wow.
What do you got, Dusty?
Well, I don't know. I
It's
was
similar,
watching the college football brackets here.
oh, we want to go to. I'd love to talk college football.
Yeah.
because we also got to talk a little Yankees later too.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. I got a lot to say about that too.
Perfect.
Yeah. But I don't know. The college football brackets, it seems like I'm a Texas Longhorns fan. It seems like their side is
Horns up.
Yeah, horns up. It seems like their side's a lot more stacked. They got
Golden Gopher.
the Ducks. They got Ohio State.
Oregon got screwed as a number one seed.
I mean, Georgia's on the other side, and
NCAA football bracket. I need to look at it.
That smells good.
so Texas
might
plays
have to dig
Clemson first round. I know that.
Clemson, it goes to Texas. Tennessee goes to Ohio State. The winner of Texas Clemson gets Arizona State because they're the 4 seed. Tennessee Ohio State goes to Oregon. On the other side, it's SMU Penn State, Indiana Notre Dame, and then it's Boise State, winner of SMU Penn State goes to Boise State, winner Indiana Notre Dame goes to Georgia.
It just seems like it's setting up for Georgia on the one side of the bracket.
Yeah, and what hurts that one is the fact that it's Boise State and Arizona. Like Boise State and Arizona State, they're not the biggest programs.
No.
They're having good years, but they're not the biggest programs. This has altered this.
I've seen Boise State play live at the Hawaii Bowl one year.
Did you?
Yeah.
That'd be fun to see. But like Oregon, yeah, like for Oregon to go to the national championship as the number 1 seed, they'll have to go through either Tennessee, Ohio State, and then likely Texas.
Yes.
Likely Texas.
And that's
Georgia
a really
has
good
to
side.
Georgia has to go through Indiana or Notre Dame, likely Notre Dame, and then Penn State though, or Boise State. If Boise State gets that win, that's. But
Where's Minnesota at, Matt?
where is Minnesota going
If
to
you
play?
don't mind me jumping in there.
I'll go. They're not in those games.
No, I haven't seen what if they're in a bowl or a major bowl or what.
We've got Army Navy this weekend. That's what matters.
It
Oh, yeah. And what conference are they in?
Minnesota.
Army Navy,
No, Army, Navy, and the Air Force.
Air Force, and I was just looking at that this weekend. I'll have to look up. 2 of them are in the Mountain West, I think.
Okay.
Or no, one's in the Mountain West and 2 are in like the American.
Is that like a Div 3?
No, it's all like top Div 1s. Like there's there's FBS and there's FCS.
Okay.
FBS is. Are you having more haggis?
Oh,
This
yeah.
guy,
Good
he's
on
just
you.
diving in.
Well, you could have just
My cup of haggis.
You could have just ate from there.
I want to save some for the rest
got
of you
some
guys.
manners.
Well, we've got to
Plastic
talk.
spoon. He's plastic spoon. But
So there's FBS, FCS. So FBS is like top Div 1. FCS is lower Div 1.
all right.
So Mountain West is like a lower FBS. And they're getting rated. Like a bunch of their teams are going to go to the Pac-12 next year because the Pac-12 is trying to rebuild. And
What a mess that was.
it's all a complete mess. But now I got to get to Cape. College football, I want bowls. Okay, here we go. You want in Minnesota? I'll give you Minnesota. when I find Minnesota here. I'm still looking for Minnesota. Are they bowl eligible?
With all the 12 teams, everyone thought there'd be less controversy, but they're still going to be the same going down.
Minnesota, Virginia Tech in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, which is one of my favorite bowl games.
Yabba
actually.
dabba do.
Here's what happens at the end of the game. The winning coach gets a bunch of mayo dumped on him.
Isn't that in Orlando, I believe?
I was gonna say the Mayo
You
Bowl.
know, it's not as cold as the Gatorade. I would take the Mayo.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mayo
North
Cup?
Carolina. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, they'll sit him down and then they take a bunch of mayo and they dump it on him. It's awesome.
Heard it's good for your hair.
And instead of John Madden eating turkey on Thanksgiving, you just get a whole bunch of cans of Spam and cut loose with that Mayo.
Well, it's just
You've been to Hawaii. That's what you had there.
Spam. It's very
Spam
popular.
gets locked up in grocery stores and like those anti-theft things.
Really?
Some of them. Yeah.
Gets locked up. What did Spam do?
It's a delicacy. Like, will people steal them?
Yeah, Spam's very popular.
People
in
love
Hawaii.
Spam in Hawaii.
Really?
I like Spam.
Canned
I eat
ham.
Spam. Pardon?
Canned ham. Spam.
It's great.
Yeah, fried up with some eggs.
Stands for Specially Prepared American Meat.
That would make sense. Yeah.
And now I
It was
need
a
to get
staple during World
to.
War II.
So Army is in the American Athletic Conference. And then I need to find, I think
And
the
weren't they
Mountain
independent
West.
for years?
They were independent for years. And then the Mountain West has Air Force. So now where's Navy? Navy is in, they're also with Army, American Athletic Conference. So Army, Navy are in the American Athletic Conference, and Air Force is in Mountain West.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There you go.
I've
You
got,
guys are
I've got
such-
vast NCAA football knowledge.
I got to give a shout out again. Shout outs to the EST. Anybody involved in sports broadcasting? You're a young guy, but you're up on stuff, and it's just remarkable. Like the walking encyclopedias that you guys all are, and some of the nasties too, for that matter. I'm just a fan. I just like sports. Full stop.
I don't know. It just seems to sink in. It's one of those things, and it's kind of useless knowledge that you find yourself quoting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the numbers hit me, like, especially when I see stats or I open up like a stat page of like Stuart Skinner or something, maybe throughout the day. Like if I mention it once, I might remember it for a while. I don't know.
Well, it's
It's like you check it once, it's like, oh.
Talking college football, I still remember the Vince Young game against USC where he marched the ball
Rose
right
Bowl.
down the field. Yes, sir.
like
2005.
04,
Their
five. It was 5.
Yep, their last national championship.
I remember the Doug Flutie game when the band ran on the field. No, that was
that was a Flutie.
Doug Flutie was the
That-
Boston College against Miami Hurricanes Hail Mary.
the
Yes.
Hail Mary. Sorry,
Boston,
no,
or the band on the field was UCLA. Is that a USC?
It might be
UCLA game?
USC, yeah. I thought.
USC, yeah.
Was it the big Battle
I
of
was-
LA or whatever?
I've had concussions. They're starting to all mesh together.
Well, there's just so much. Sometimes you just mix them all together. But that's what makes it's those wild endings that make college football great. Do you think Texas could bounce back from this Georgia loss?
Man, losing to him twice is pretty tough. But I think they can. I think they got a good shot against Clemson, and if they get by them, I think they're going to the final. It's just
They'll
that
beat Clemson.
It's just that first game
fluked
that,
in.
Yeah, they did.
The
but
ACC stinks, and I'm a Miami
does.
Hurricanes fan. I'm mad at my Miami Hurricanes. They don't lose to Syracuse. They go beat Syracuse. Miami Hurricanes are in the playoffs.
But that's why it's so exciting, because you don't really know what's going to happen in college football.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Miami do good since
The 90s?
2004.
Yeah.
Because they won in 02. They got screwed in 03. Then they got blown out in I think it was either the 05 or 06 Peach Bowl. They got blown out by against Florida, I believe it is. And they have never been good since. They've never won the ACC. They moved over to the ACC in like 05 or 06 or something and have never won the ACC ever. This
that's
historic program has been trash. And this year it's like, finally, okay, maybe we'll do it.
And besides when Clemson had Lawrence there, the ACC's not really that good. I don't think.
Not anymore. Well, they always said they have that one good team. For long, it was FSU with
Florida State.
Jameis Winston. Then it went to Clemson,
With Lawrence.
and now there's no one.
No.
Who is the favorite to win right now?
I think it would have to be Oregon,
I think so.
I think so.
undefeated.
Yeah.
Who is a sleeper then? That
Minnesota.
could maybe. Minnesota. There we go.
Okay, who would be the
Elite
sleeper?
football
team?
knowledge.
I
Maybe
would.
Indiana? Coming out of nowhere, they'd be a long shot, though.
Yeah, but Indiana had one game against the ranked team and they lost in Ohio against Ohio State.
One of the best.
So, like,
one of the top ranked teams.
Sure, but they still lost it. Like, I think the sleeper. I think Penn State would have to be maybe one. Because if they get SMU, winnable game. They get Boise State, I would argue possibly a winnable game. So really, like, then you're going up against likely Georgia. You go snag one win against Georgia, you're also in the national championship game. Otherwise, like, I could see winner of Ohio State, Tennessee doing it. They get by, they go take on Oregon, take down Oregon. They get maybe Texas.
I saw Tennessee play some good games this year.
I would love for it to be Boise State.
Yeah, wasn't there a big matchup this past?
That's a team you should start following.
Boise?
They have a big blue field.
What?
They play in a blue field.
I hate
That's
those
where
ugly
about
fields.
5 years ago, the linebacker proposed to the cheerleader right after the game.
You say 5 years ago?
When was it? I don't know.
Like 12 years ago.
Was it? Okay.
That was a long time ago.
I just woke up.
That was the Fiesta Bowl, Oklahoma, where it was like one of the wildest. And I think it might have been the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, actually.
Is it still Happy Ever After?
It was Jared Zabransky.
Yeah.
It had the Statue of Liberty play that they won on.
Yes.
I remember because at the time, Best Damn Sports Show did these things where they would show like the final minutes of games, or like they'd show games in shortened. And in like the 30 minutes, they could only show the like final like 2 minutes in overtime because it was just so wild of that one, and it played for like the rest of Christmas. And that was like the first time Boise State, because everyone was like, Boise's a good team, but no respects. They weren't in one of the big conferences, and they went down and took down a big school. It was a huge deal. And then he proposed. Well, actually, the best part though of that was the announcer screwed it up because he was there and his girlfriend was there because she was a cheerleader, and it was I forgot who it was, his name. But he was like, oh, now you're going to propose to your girlfriend. And before he could get down on the knee and the girlfriend saw him, like, ah.
Oh.
The cat was out of the bag.
Tooth. I think.
Yeah,
Just like Jordan McSinney.
that was a while ago. But that Boise State had a couple good years there.
Yes. And they were going. And then that was 2007. They won 43-42 in overtime. There was a couple years later because I wanted Boise State to go undefeated so they go in the national championship game to see what they can do. And I think their kicker missed like an extra point one game, which gave them their only loss, which took them out of contention for the national title. And I was devastated.
So 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And
it was
I saw
that
them
long ago.
they were in the Hawaii Bowl, either 7 or 9. I saw them, I believe. And they played Eastern Carolina.
Oh,
ECU.
yeah. So before I'll find that, but okay. So on the Wikipedia for that 07 game, it says post game. During a post game interview with Fox Sports on-field analyst Chris Myers, Johnson got down on one knee and proposed to his girlfriend. Myers, however, spoiled the proposal by mentioning it before he went to a knee.
Now I need to know: are they still together though?
They got married in 2007. I gotta find out. I don't know. So his name's Johnson. I'll have to go search for this.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So Jared Zabransky, the quarterback for the Broncos in that game, signed for the Elks or the Eskimos at the time.
Yeah.
So there's your college football fun facts.
There was another thing yesterday I saw. One of the players for the Bengals yesterday, his girlfriend is a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, which that was a big story. Made his debut in the game too, like NFL debut. She was there, which is pretty good. But I mean, she was probably cheering a little bit for him, even though she's on the other side. But
it's tough getting in the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. It's elite, so I think she would be pretty low key about cheering for the other team.
So like that was the 2007 Fiesta Bowl, but it was the 2006 season that they were playing because that goes over the knee. 2007 season, Boise went to Hawaii Bowl.
That's what I saw. Yeah, they lost to ECU.
That's at 41-38.
It was a great game.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
wow.
We got into some college football talk.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Well, it should be good. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. It's something different, something new. It's long overdue, I think, for college football.
Yeah, except I'm gonna have to readjust like my mindset because like the regular season doesn't matter as much anymore, and I have to start getting to like growing up. It was always you lost a game, you're not getting to the national title.
You're
game.
done. Yeah,
you just can't. You have to go basically undefeated. If there are no undefeateds, then the one-loss schools come into play again. now it's okay. Well, you could beat Ohio State, losing to Michigan, not going to a Big Ten championship game, and we all know you're perfectly fine. You're going to the playoffs. We know that Texas losing to Georgia in the SEC championship game doesn't matter. Both are going to the playoffs. It just means Georgia gets the bye. So I have to recalibrate as a college football fan what the regular season means, which is less.
Because you're right. I'd follow it. One loss, and you're like, oh, that's done. You're done. You're like, try again next year.
Was that drastic? Where you'd lose one game and you're like,
You're
well.
done.
So how it used to be, at least, like before it used to be, there was no real national championship game. They would just get awarded based on the polls. But then they added at one point, so there's the BCS system, which was an awful system because it was like, they had all the, like 40 some computers that randomly selected the top two schools in the program, and it was AI before AI kind of, but like no one understood how it worked, and like it would have some controversial results. But they would select two teams and they'd go play in the national championship game. There was no playoffs, there was nothing. They would just go, here's the two best teams in the nation. And some years there'd be two undefeated schools, and you're like, these are the two schools needing to go to the championship. Let's go see them. Some years it'd be like three, and you're like, well, how do you determine who should and who shouldn't go? And these computers would determine it, and you're like, this is a joke. Get upset. And everyone's like, we want a playoff. We want a playoff.
It was really tough because I remember one of the years I went, I think it was 2007, Hawaii went undefeated. But they're like, do they deserve to be in a national championship in the conference they played? No. But they played in a major bowl and got destroyed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it went Sugar Bowl.
Yes,
something like that.
Yeah. Colt Brennan, I believe.
Yes.
Do they pour sugar on people in the Sugar Bowl?
They don't pour sugar afterwards. No, that's one of the few bowl games that doesn't do that. The Orange Bowl has a bowl of oranges on the top of the trophy.
Just get orange juice.
No, they get actual oranges. Fiesta Bowl doesn't really have anything. Although Brent Musburger had one of the greatest calls because it was the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Yes.
And it was Oregon, I think Auburn national championship game. And his final play, the call for the game, he's like, this is for all the Tostitos. And it's just playing right into the sponsorship here.
I thought somebody was going to dump salsa on him or something.
No, it's just his line was, it's for all the Tostitos. But so back to your, so Zach, so there was the national championship game. And then we got to a 4-team playoff, and there was a committee that selected 4 teams. And we got a little controversial with that a few years where we're like, well, why is this team 4 and this team getting knocked out? And then instead of going to 8, we jumped to 12 all of a sudden this year. And it's just like this massive jump and like, whoa. And I think the committee got it right this year.
But there was the championship bowl game, but there was also other major bowls.
Yes.
There's major and like minor bowls, basically. So if you're up there, you'll go to one of the big bowl games, and it's not a national championship.
So a medium bowl like this Haggis, and then like a popcorn bowl.
So the 4 big bowl games.
See that? The Tartan Bowl.
It was the Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Orange Bowl. Those are your 4 big bowl, and they would rotate the national
and
championship.
then
through those
Cotton
4.
was kind of the 5th.
Cotton
was like
and,
right, yeah.
I think it's a peach, or can't remember who the next one is. But those were the big 4. They rotated the national championship through those 4 every year. So one year Fiesta Bowl would be the national title, and then the other 3 would just play their big bowl games. The next year, Rose Bowl would take it, and the other 3 would play just the big bowl games. And they had times. The Rose Bowl was always the Pac-12 champion versus the Big Ten champion. The Sugar Bowl was always, I think, ACC and SEC or something like that. So there was like these.
So
there's
certain
affiliations
names.
too.
Okay, yeah. It's not just like called certain names and you just
No,
throw
so then when the
okay.
playoffs came, they added the 4 teams, or all 4 of those became playoff games, but then they added 2 more. They added the Cotton Bowl, and I can't remember who else they added. And they rotated, so 4. Oh no, because there'd be only 2 semifinals in the national championship. So every 3rd year, 2 of those 6 would be the semifinals, and the other 4 games would be the big bowl games, and they would rotate through them. And now those 6 are the semis and the quarters, I think.
Yes, I believe
of
so.
this, because there'd be 4 quarterfinals and 2 semis. So those 6 games will be the handle the quarters and the semis. And then the national championship, since they've gone to 4 teams, has been bid on, and they just go random places. Well, not random. They go to Atlanta, they go to New Orleans, and there's like a couple other places.
cycle through a few places. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the New Year's, and then there was like the big bowl games that weren't those. So there was the major bowl games, and there was mid-major bowl games, because the Peach Bowl was always big.
Yes,
There was the New Year's Day games. Whatever was on New Year's Day were the big games. And then there's the other bowl, like the Pop-Tart Bowl and the Duke
Pinstripe
Bowl,
Bowl.
Pinstripe Bowl. And then no one cared about, like, not no one cared,
No.
but they were just let's have some fun.
I'd want to see somebody have a bunch of Pop-Tarts.
Did you not hear about the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Yeah, last year they had a huge Pop-Tart mascot that they ate after.
They sacrificed them live on television.
Edible
Yeah.
mascot?
Did you know that?
Yes.
They should do that with the
Yes.
big donair one.
Oh my
That's
God, I
really-
showed this on the show yesterday. Okay, I first want to go where the semifinals and all those are.
Yeah, they had a big Pop-Tart, and the winning team
What?
ripped them party.
I must be living under a rock.
You don't know
I'm
what
not a
you're
big
missing.
college football
No,
fan.
One, two,
you've just
three,
got
four,
better
five,
things to
six.
do. Zach.
Chick-fil-A Bowl. is the other
Chick-fil-A,
one.
yes.
Yeah, like watching the
Okay, now I got to pull this
Ducks
up again.
Canadians game.
Chick-fil-A.
They sacrificed an edible mascot last year for the Pop-Tart Bowl. And
An edible mascot.
I am doing
There he
everything
is.
I can not to say inappropriate things.
awesome. Thank you. You can tell us off the air.
That's family show.
And in the end, this year they're going to have 3 Pop-Tarts, and the MVP gets to choose which one they're going to sacrifice.
Are they all different flavors?
This year there'll be 3 different flavors. Last
Nice.
year there was just this one.
Can they toast them?
And see now it's going down in
He's
the
going
toaster.
into the toaster.
Oh, what? Oh my gosh, this is
Google Pop-Tart mascot
revolutionary.
for those that.
Yes.
And then did you see it come out?
Yes, this will
Yeah.
make me want to watch college football.
And then they
Yes.
eat it.
Yeah, this is like the Simpsons
for the
game yesterday,
diabetics.
but cooler.
That's how you can
Wow.
pick your team.
Well, not
Whoever
really
wins
like
that
it.
bowl game will be your new team.
Yeah.
It's the Miami Hurricanes. We're in it.
There you go.
Who are we playing? I use we because Tom's not here. Screw you, Tom. I don't have it on here.
That's not
Didn't know
very
you
collegial.
came
Pardon?
from Miami.
That's not very collegial.
Well, I'll gladly say I'm Miami Hurricanes. I'm we for them. I'm a longtime supporter of the Hurricanes. I've spent a lot of time in my life cheering for the Hurricanes.
See, that's what it's got to be. It's got to be a certain cutoff. If you've cheered or supported a team for over so many years, it's yours.
Yeah.
You know? Because I say the Yankees are mine.
There's some great college.
Iowa State. That's actually going to be a really good game.
Ooh, that'll
There's
be
some
really
great
good.
college sports on yesterday. Wake Forest versus North Carolina in soccer. That was entertaining.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw
Yes.
the final score.
North Carolina wins.
Yeah,
national.
1-0.
I was busy watching the NFL
1-0.
game, which, well done. I was busy watching the NFL game in the Simpsons version, which was fascinating, and I really enjoyed the hell out of it.
It's pretty amazing how they do that, isn't it?
Lisa
Yes.
ran a crazy route.
Lisa had 2 touchdowns in the game.
Yeah.
I think I saw the Toy Story one they did. One of the first.
And it took me to the very end to figure out how they do it. So they put out little characters of the Cowboys and the Bengals, but then every so often they throw in Simpsons characters.
Right.
But they're behind. So they're like a minute behind of the actual game or something like that. So I think
It's like
when,
a replay.
Almost. So I think when something big happens, that's when they substituted in Bart and Lisa or Homer or something. Because it seemed like
That makes
anytime those
sense.
guys came in, like I just thought they randomly threw them in, and then at the end of the game, it was Bart to Lisa on the game-winning touchdown, and she burned Homer. That's how it went. And it was like, well, how did they conveniently get Bart to Lisa? And it's because they're behind. And so if you figure that, I'm glad I didn't figure it out till the end, because then you'd be like, okay, a big play's coming here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna okay, something's gonna happen here with these guys. Mo Sislak made an amazing tackle.
Mo with the big tackle.
Oh, it was amazing tackle.
Well, that was,
From
the beauty, that
bartending
was the
college?
beauty of watching it at the casino last night, because you could watch that Wake Forest game, and
Mm-hmm.
you could watch the NFL game. Then you got some hockey going on and some horse racing in the slop and down at
Liney scoring
Woodbine.
again.
But they didn't have most the Simpsons up.
Well, they kind of fed it back and forth. There wasn't a full
They
broadcast.
They showed
There
tips
was
of it.
vignettes.
Yeah, so then there's Mo Sislak with his big tackle. Like, look, he just lights him up.
Wow.
Jeez.
Mo was all over and then they
Shouldn't have been a
Spider Pig
bartender.
became the football for a few plays.
Spider.
They were throwing Spider Pig.
Yeah. Then there was a
That's
big
pretty cool.
interception at one
pretty
point
cool.
by Homer.
Homer started off actually going. Homer threw the first touchdown of the game.
It was crazy.
It was weird because I was like, obviously I know this is actually happening, but I'm also like, I don't know if if we were gonna sit down and break down the Monday Night Football game. I don't know how well I could break it down today because I watched the Simpson version. I'm sitting here going, Homer threw a touchdown pass and Bart threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
He's had 2 touchdowns in the game.
Joe Barto.
There you go.
They need to do a Family Guy one. Like there was that one Family Guy episode where it was
Well,
a
they've done
Thanksgiving one, and they had football game in the backyard.
Yeah,
I'd
they've
like
done
to
a
see
couple.
that.
So they've done Toy Story, Simpsons now, and I think they've done 1 or
SpongeBob.
2 other. Is that it? Yes.
That was
I have a
SpongeBob.
confession. I've never seen an episode of Family Guy or Simpsons.
Simpsons.
oh
I'm
my.
surprised.
That makes more sense. Yeah, it's been since
I had
'89.
a boss that used to refer to me as Sideshow Bob, and I had no point of reference.
Why would you be referred to as Sideshow Bob?
It's a bad reference.
I don't know.
Sideshow Bob is a criminal. He
Bad one.
tried to
And I was
kill.
wearing a uniform when he
His schemes are usually foiled.
His schemes are all always foiled almost.
A schemer? Was he a schemer?
Yeah, but he would get foiled.
Oh,
He has a beautiful singing
Maybe
voice.
He sings opera amazingly.
that's not me.
He's always trying
maybe.
to kill Bart, but Lisa or Bart foil him.
He steps on rakes, and they hit him in the head.
So I'm very intrigued by that.
Like-
Has very
it has
curly
very
hair.
long, spiky, curly hair and stuff. You don't have the hair
No.
like that. So,
Interesting
So I should be
comparison.
offended then.
Maybe
well,
the
I'm just
cadence.
intrigued why he would
What do you got
call
there?
you that.
I don't know. What do you get there?
It's a drink.
It's a drink.
No haggis.
Oh,
I've haggis in my cup.
I'm happy that you're enjoying that as much as you
That's
are.
good.
a good co-host would be offering the guests a little libation.
I did offer.
I don't recall.
Would you like some
did.
haggis in a cup or some
No, I'll
drinks
have
from
what
the
he's
fridge?
having.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll text you.
Is it,
Okay.
or is Eric on the?
Eric could fill it, but I don't. No one knows what he's having, but me, I guess.
Well, I don't care. If it's liquid, I'll drink it.
There you go.
Except for hot tubs and swimming pools.
I swim up bars.
So talking about college football, have you ever watched college golf? That is
Yes.
very entertaining.
Yes.
I haven't enough.
It's so easy to get into, but it's a little more relatable to the average player.
I like the fact they carry their own clubs.
They carry their own clubs. They have a coach that goes between the 5 players, so you play team and you play individual.
I love good team.
Oh, it's a lot of fun to watch.
I don't watch enough Golf Channel when I want to watch more Golf Channel. Weirdly, James Duthyn used to always say he's always has the Golf Channel on, and he'll watch anything on the Golf Channel.
I really like NCAA golf, and they're just getting more and more sports out there. Softball's one. I love watching women's softball. They're so
women's
good.
softball's
They're
huge.
so good.
And actually, women's volleyball is
Yes.
becoming a massive
It's going
sport.
up on Saturdays.
Women's
against
rugby
football.
is the bomb.
But if women's volleyball is going on NBC.
Thanks, big fella.
Like they are
On Saturdays.
They are
Against-
putting a lot of TV production behind women's volleyball.
And they're getting the crowds too. Like you always watch them, and they're
Well, they went
out.
to Nebraska and they played in the football
Nebraska's a
stadium.
big one. Yep.
So,
Good stuff.
See, college football I'm into right now. We'll get through it, and then in not long it'll be March Madness
There you go. Yeah.
because the college football now is going to go till January 20th. And then you get to February, and it's going to be okay. We're into the final stretch of the regular season for college basketball. We're going to get to the conference tournaments, and then it's March Madness. And then we got to fill out our brackets again.
It's never ending with college sports. Just keep going.
I hate March Madness
Why?
because every time we go to Las Vegas, I've been going down there for this will be 11th year in a row. There's a torch race from Baker, California into Vegas. It's all law enforcement type stuff. There's like about 250 teams from mostly North America. There's been some Swedes there and some Brits, and the Aussies travel up pretty well. Anyway, the place is chock-a-block with March Madness people, and they just get in the way. Anyway,
It's March Madness.
It's their country. They're entitled, I suppose.
It's the madness
Of March.
3 weekends. That goes into April.
Not that anyone cares, but my bracket was pretty decent last year for a little bit until it all fell apart near the end.
Everyone could say that. It was good until that first couple games.
That was good for the first 2 days.
I don't even
and then it
watch the
crashed.
game.
As Matt and YTT would say, I'm not going to lie. I don't care about your bracket.
Thank you. I need the honesty.
See, it's someone like you that should fill one out because you'd probably do very well. Knowing nothing going in, right?
What do you mean I know nothing?
Do you follow college basketball?
No.
Exactly. So you know nothing.
Go Minnesota.
Have you watched The Simpsons? No.
No.
What's your connection to the Golden Gophers?
I went to college in Minnesota in 1970.
At the University of Minnesota?
No, Bemidji State.
So you just cheer for a different school.
Well, they're the Beavers.
So do you, Matt.
Yeah, but I didn't go to any of those schools down there.
yeah.
He
But
went,
the Golden Gophers, are the chances of seeing them on telly are a little bit more substantial than the
That makes
Bemidji
sense.
State.
PJ Flack, the head coach of the
Yeah.
Golden Gophers.
Yep.
Row the boat.
What?
He had this thing
The
years
guy
ago.
knows stuff, eh?
He played at Western. He coached at Western or Central Michigan, I think it was. And myself and Lucas from Oil and the Wolf were watching that bowl game one year, And like before he ran out onto the field, and like they showed his like pregame speech, and his whole like thing was row the boat. He said, row the boat. So I've always known PJ Fleck from there, and I remember going to Minnesota. So now I just always think of him as row the boat guy. And is also probably one of the best dressed college football coaches. Wears vests.
Wears a tie.
Yeah.
You know,
Has shoes.
Yeah, he doesn't wear a hat.
Nope.
He should do it, and if he goes to Arizona, he should wear a hat.
Is he going to Arizona? Or are you saying for the game?
If he goes to Arizona, he should wear.
It works with what he's wearing, because there's like Jack Del Rio, with I think at the Raiders at the time where he was. Oh, no, he was in Jacksonville. There's a couple of other coaches that have tried wearing the full suits. Al Golden did it with Miami, and it doesn't look good. The suit with the shirt, the tie, and then the headset. Like the headset makes you look weird. Whereas PJ Fleck, because of the sweater, I think.
Yeah,
it looks good. It looks right on the sideline.
It's old school, like a throwback to the 20s and that sort of stuff. Like nobody can pull it off like Tom Landry with the fedora. That's iconic. There I go dating myself.
Speaking of dating ourselves here, yesterday I was talking with Jay Milne and Steve Sander for the Canadian Press at the Trey Ford press conference. We were trying to figure out quickly, and we didn't talk about it long. When was the last time there was a Canadian-born head coach and a Canadian-born starting quarterback in the Canadian Football League? Because Mark Killam and Trey Ford will be head coach QB partnership this year, or next year, I guess.
1994. I don't know.
Well, but it's like it would have. It might not be like it. Probably we're gonna have to go to like 50s or 60s, 60s or the 40s or something.
Well, you got to start with the quarterback, like
right.
It's an easy way to track it, and then go by.
Now, Rick Campbell is American-born, so Rick Campbell doesn't count. Otherwise, it would have been him and Nathan Rourke. But prior to Nathan Rourke, prior to Trey Ford, what other Canadian quarterbacks have started? I think Brandon Bridge did. There wasn't many. And then before that, it was Julio Caravata. So
yeah, you're going way,
right. So now, so then it's like, okay,
I can go further back. It was Russ Jackson in Ottawa.
Well, it's rare. And
then it's finding Canadian coaches. Like Mike O'Shea's one now. Mark Killam is now, but it's like, okay, finding those Canadian quarterbacks, and then you're trying to pair the two together.
But what's nice is those guys are starting to get some recognition finally, because we're not stupid up here.
Well, everyone always talks about CFL, and it's a sub league. Every league has its place. There's minor league baseball. I love following minor league baseball, but when I go to the States, I've been to many college and NFL games, and they always talk about the CFL. When I start talking to people in tailgates or mentioning stuff, they're like, oh, we followed as much as we can, because they're following their college players up, or they're following somebody else from the NFL that's come up here, and they love the game.
Well, when you go to the Grey Cup, it's amazing how many people are showing up wearing old Baltimore kit. And same thing, that I met a guy from Portland, and he goes to all the Grey Cups, and he wears all sorts of the old U.S. CFL teams.
And the Americans don't talk about, it should change to 4 downs, or they should change the field. They like it for what it is.
We want the rouge.
They watch the football.
Bigger balls.
Our balls
Even
are
though
bigger.
there isn't.
That was a great
Was it
marketing campaign.
mid-90s? Radically Canadian?
Yes. And they should go back and bring that back type thing. The 4 downs doesn't change. It doesn't get more people. People love the NFL not because there's 4 downs, because it has Patrick Mahomes, because it has Justin Jefferson. It has those players.
Allen.
It has Josh Allen. Although, who did I see?
Can you imagine their game on a CFL size field though? Holy
That would be
smokes.
wild. I want to see one game like that.
Two things happen. One, defense cannot make a stop because of that third play that you'll get, or you just see a lot more running. Because now coaches are going to be like, well, we can actually commit to running the ball, because if we run for 3 downs, well, it's 2nd and 7. We could run for another 3 downs, and it's 3rd and 4. That's manageable. If we run for 3 downs with 3 downs, and it's 2nd and 7, that's a long 2nd down. So like it would, I think you'd see a lot more coaches go for it. But it's funny that you mentioned the Josh Allen thing there, Zach.
Yeah, I had 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing.
And how it's the first time in
history.
NFL history that happened. Rob Vanstone, who has covered the Riders for a very long time. Kent Austin accomplished that feat for the Saskatchewan Roughriders against Calgary back in 1993. The CFL's always been a more offensive league than the National Football League. Something just happened in the National Football League that has happened in the Canadian Football League years ago.
But when's
Boom, NFL.
It was when Flutie was here, teams would come up and scout him because what he was doing was revolutionary. And then they started doing it in the NFL, and everyone thought they were crazy.
The CFL was a more offensive league well before the NFL was an offensive league. The NFL has only been an offensive league for the last 15 years.
And Flutie pulls off a drop kick. That was brilliant.
Oh, yes.
That was brilliant.
Have you seen a drop kick?
I know what a drop kick is, but not fully in football. You drop the ball and kick it.
It's
Pretty self-explanatory.
well. It's pretty cool to see. It's you don't see it at all.
Got to
now.
hit the ground,
It's like cock leaf
and then
soup.
you kick it, and it counts as a field goal.
Oh, okay.
Or is it just an extra point?
Both. It depends on the.
Yeah.
If it's in during regular play, it counts as a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
But if it's a convert, it's a 1 point.
But you have to drop.
And what
it.
did he do it as? Was it the convert?
I think it was.
I think that
believe it
was
was,
the convert.
Or if you play rugby, they do it all the time. They do it to start play.
I need to watch more rugby. It's exciting.
You should be playing. Big strapping lad like
He
yourself.
would. He does look like he's got a good rugby build.
Oh, he does.
I would die on
And
the
he's
field.
got a chip on his shoulder. You know,
Like a little chip on his shoulder.
no, just
Tostitos?
He's got some grit. He likes haggis. You're off to a good
Tortilla?
start, boy. You're at the training table right here.
This is where I start.
But yeah, CFL is a fine league. And yesterday was a fun day. Trey Ford is actually going to be on the Hangout tomorrow.
Oh,
I got to figure out the timing.
Oh, Dusty, and we're here filling in till Trey Ford gets here.
Well, yeah, it was a second or
warming
third
the
option.
seats.
You guys.
He'll be in for an hour. Micah Curry from the Elks came up yesterday. He's like, hey, would you like Trey on the Hangout this week? It's like, yes. Yes. And then we talked to Trey after, and we were reminded, like, Trey remembered that he was on last time with Gavin Cobb, Elks receiver. And they're like, I think Gavin's still in town. So Gavin Cobb's also going to return as well. So it'll be Gavin Cobb, it'll be Trey Ford. They're coming in the Hangout for an hour tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but we'll have those two gentlemen in studio once again. Hopefully Gavin Cobb could stick around with the Edmonton Elks. And when it
Save
comes
us some
to
Haggis.
Trey Ford,
I was just going
I'm
to say.
excited for this year.
yeah. And then with Trey Ford, it's your starting quarterback, the future face of this league.
QB1, baby.
But they finally
Good terminology.
done it right. It started at the top and went down, filled every position. It's not somebody else's choice for a head coach that you have to go, like, deal with as a GM. It's not an owner that's not, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a really good year.
Well, it seems like he's had to battle kind of through the muck to get his opportunities the entire time he's really been an Elk. So now he kind of just gets the reins. He gets the chance to really show people in the city and around the CFL what he was brought in to kind of do. Super exciting. Like, I'm very ignorant to the CFL, and before this, like, for the last 4 or so years, I know I'm from Edmonton, but I would make fun of the Elks, especially when they had the record for the longest losing streak at home in North American sports history. Just ridiculous. So to see this team make that transition and coaching, and it's very exciting to see that the implements that they made in the additions
Well, it wasn't
to the
that
team.
long ago the Detroit Lions went winless in a season. And now look at them.
And Dusty's Lions are
Yeah.
chugging along.
Go Minnesota.
Golden Gophers.
Vikings.
No, the Vikings.
Oh, sorry.
Should make you do
But
push-ups.
the Golden.
Jesus Christ.
Working radio, I can't do push-ups.
No, I will say this about the franchise at the very least. They have the longest record for most in North American sports for playoff appearances. So if you're going to have the good, you also got the bad.
But how long ago was that?
It ended in 2006.
I was 3. Like, it
but
was
it's
that
still a
long ago,
record.
right? It's like, well,
It's not that long ago.
I mean, a Canadian team hasn't won the cup since 93, but, how many cups have the Canadians won in
Yeah, but
the
Elks,
40s?
well, the Eskimos, they made the playoffs 34 straight years. Like, it was a ridiculous long
Was it
period of
34? I
time.
thought it was 35.
They missed out on year
Pretty long,
35.
actually.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, they missed it. They had 34 consecutive playoff
Wow.
appearances.
Okay.
So, like, it was actually a really long run. Like, growing up, it was just like, it was a guarantee they were in
were
the
always in,
playoffs.
yeah.
And then when they first missed, it was like, what is going on? And then they
devastating.
didn't fire anyone.
It's like the
which
Red
was
Wings.
wild. And then they missed the next year, and they still didn't fire anyone. It was like, what is going on here? And to me, that's when it all changed. This franchise took its dive.
When we traded Ricky Ray, I believe.
And I'll still go to 06. That led to everything. Machocha got fired. They brought in Eric Tillman. Eric Tillman thought he
Yes.
was smarter than everyone else. He said,
right.
I'll trade it Ricky Ray and I'll show you guys I'm smarter.
And And then Ricky Ray went on to win, what, 2 more?
2 more.
Yeah. No, that was tough. Took a lot.
Don't get me going on Tillman.
I won't. I don't want to get going on Tillman. I don't need to get going on Tillman
Yeah,
here.
but what happened in 2015?
That was Ed Hervey.
Yeah.
No, so 14-15 is truly the outlier for this franchise since 2006.
Yeah.
It was they've hosted 3 playoff games. 14-15, they were a great team. Ed Hervey, Chris Jones, they had something wonderful with Michael Riley. It was great.
Yeah.
That is actually the outlier. But that's where I have confidence in Ed Hervey because the guy who was the architect of that is back and he was built that. And having chats with him yesterday, Jay and I, with a little chat with Ed, like it was, I like his vision for this team. I like where how he's gonna attack this offseason.
Well, as much of a Rider fan as I am, I'm pretty excited for the Elks season too.
Well, Riley was the last quarterback you could get behind, and you know, he was a nice guy. He was around town. We saw him a couple times at Boston Pizza, and he would come sit with us and talk about the game. And he was a guy around town. He was here for a while. You could get behind him. Since then, it's been no one you could kind of connect with.
Did he ever pick up your tab?
I don't believe so.
Did you ever pick up his tab?
I think we did his, yeah.
Well, that's good.
But
Somebody picked up somebody's tab.
But now you got Ford. It's 3 years, so he's moving his family up, right?
Yeah, they're going
He's
to live
moving
here full time.
So
They're doing renovations.
that's pretty exciting to have him.
And if it works, like if Trey Ford turns into the type of quarterback that many of us think he can be, this is a quarterback that could be here for the next 10 to 15 years, which is pretty cool.
Well, now you can actually start building your team around him too.
Yes.
And not just plugging him in somewhere else. So, you know, so it should be, it's going to be
The
an
things
exciting
that
year.
always concerns me about like Juan Soto with the big contract, and you know you got Ford coming in here, which is great, is that I always err on the side of caution. What happens if there's a significant injury?
So
Not necessarily a career ender, but something that's going to put you out for a season.
So the big thing is for Trey is the first year there's money that Ed can go bring in a good backup. Like it's more back end, like where guaranteed money and the base salary shoots up as it progresses. Like going into this season, it's okay. There's a question marks about Trey still as being a starting quarterback, but also injuries, all that. There's money to have a proper backup. But then you would like to think that if you get to year 3, when it comes like injury, it's football, things can happen. But he'll be smart enough to understand he won't put himself in positions to get injured like he did this past season with BC.
Yeah,
I
he's
remember
got-
when he got hurt against BC at Century, Jay and I were yelling at the TV like before it happened, like run out of bounds, like get rid of that ball. And
Slide.
then he took a stupid, like he didn't need to take that hit.
Yep.
And it was just like, now you're out for a few games when you didn't need to do that. You needed to get rid of that ball or just go down or something. He's just got to learn that, and I think he'll be healthy.
Is that him trying to prove himself a little bit too, to try to get that starter job that he did?
No, I
something
think
like
it's probably.
or
I think
just
that probably
instinct?
deals with competitive nature.
Yeah,
more
just-
than that idea. I don't disagree with you, but I think it's just you get in that testosterone starts running and the adrenaline and stuff, and I'm gonna
Go for that extra.
go for it. Yeah.
He's a gamer on and off the field.
He
I think
is.
he's big into games, actually, yeah.
That's why.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Again, dating myself, you look at Franco Harris and how he lasted as long as he did. He ran out of bounds more often than he stayed in bounds,
Yeah, those 3-4 extra yards.
and he was a big dude.
aren't as important as getting hurt and not playing
getting
the
up
next,
for the next-
rest of the
the
game.
next play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be the biggest thing he needs to learn, and if he learns that, he'll be fine. He's got the arm, he's got the accuracy. I've seen it.
He's exciting.
There's got to be natural development. Like there still is more growth to come.
Yeah.
And Jordan McSimic is a very smart offensive mind, and I'm fascinated to see what he can do with Trey.
The unofficial official.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because there was the one question to Trey about Jordan McSimic, and initially I thought Trey was going to answer like, hey, we don't have anything official with McSimic, but he answered it. And then Mark Killam came up and he talked about it, and then he ended it with the, I don't know if this is official yet. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, it's not official. You guys have not announced this at all as an organization. And Ed just stood there and was just like,
Next thing you know, we'll have Brooksy up here doing reveals on the Elks.
oh, I'm already excited for the CFL season. Trevor Harris back with the Riders.
Yep. It's going to be good. It's
No
going to be a good
complaints.
year.
It's just like what happens with Cody Fajardo. That's the big now question as we go into the new year.
I thought he could be a good backup for.
I think he'll want the job too much.
Yeah.
I want Jeremiah Mazzoli. I'm fighting for Jeremiah Mazzoli.
It's a fun name.
Jeremiah Mazzoli?
Mazzoli. That's just me.
Trying to think some of the best. There's some great CFL names from the history. I'm just most proud of saying Solomon Elamimi.
My favorite
Yes.
CFL name for a football player, Greg Battle.
Ooh.
Remember him?
I actually don't,
He's a linebacker for the Bombers.
but I like that name.
Greg Battle.
Battle comes up with the tackle.
Yeah. Battle's in
That is
there
good
battling. Yeah.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Matt Iwanyk, Dustyn with Y, Fergie's Prostate, Zachticum with you here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, as wherever you get your podcast. Portions of this hour are brought to you by the Hive Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk, promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, hiveproductmarketing.com for anyone that ordered stuff from the pop-up store. Things are, I know with the warehouse, I think things are supposed to be arriving in the next couple of days. We had a few things arrive here that has to get sent to the warehouse. So all those merch orders should be shipped on or before this weekend, the 15th at the very least. The only thing I will say, we're not going through Canada Post because no one could go through Canada Post, and I don't think they went through Canada Post before. The one thing I will say is that even though people aren't going through Canada Post, there is a backlog with all couriers. So hopefully things all get to you by Christmas. Fingers crossed, but no one envisioned that we'd have this strike, and the strike would go on as long as possible. So hopefully everything does come out to you, but everything going to be shipped hopefully later this week to anyone that ordered stuff from the merch store. You brought notes, and I want to make sure we get to your notes. Like we don't miss anything on your notes. Have we gotten to a few things on your notes so far?
I'm 3 down, 1 to go. But
perfect.
On that
doing great.
comment about the
He really wanted to talk college football.
3rd down and 1.
Yes.
on that a follow up on that the couriers.
Yeah.
I've got family in Victoria, and every Christmas everybody gets books. They're easy to wrap, they're easy to ship. So I got this 10-pound box or 12-pound, whatever the heck it was. So I go into Staples in St. Albert, and they've got all the courier companies. They've got a counter to receive whatever. So I shipped this box out to Victoria. Cost me $40, which is a little bit pricey, but what the heck? It's cheaper than 3 tanks of gas going out there and coming back.
But not as fun.
$40 in. I shipped it on Monday. It got delivered on Wednesday.
Nice.
Done.
Okay, question about that.
Yep.
Because I have to send stuff out with the Nasty Club for that, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this. If you go up to the Staples counter,
Yep.
can you shop between the places?
Yeah.
Or do you pick, like, I want to ship through FedEx? Or, like, if you say, I need to ship this here, will they tell you the prices of all the places?
There's a schedule on the wall as to whether it's UPS or whomever, what the next pickup time for that date is, or if it's the next day. You pick who you want to ship with.
But if I want to know what the pricing is,
they'll give it to you.
and then just pick based off the pricing.
I think it's going to be all fairly competitive. I can't speak to that 100%. But
Well, I just didn't know if you could go to the counter and be like, hey, no, I want to ship this. Tell me the prices of FedEx. I think they do.
if you need $20,
later.
Matt, I
It's not
got
20 bucks.
I got
I'm
some
going all
walking
over the
around money,
places,
okay?
but it's like I'm going to try to like do this as cost efficient as possible.
I shouldn't
You
have
want to
said,
save that extra money for the Coolbet account.
I shouldn't
The
have said, I
$1.50.
shouldn't have said I got $20 in my wallet. My ex-wives will be calling now. You bastard.
But I've never
You're-
used and then like I've gone online and like the prices are different online. Like I shipped something on Pure Later last week. I shipped it last Thursday, got there on Monday where I was sending it to. So it was
Yeah.
pretty quick. But when I went there, it was cheaper than when I looked on the pricing online. And that's where I'm just like, well, like I'm trying to figure out what all the pricing is and I don't know what to, so I got to deal with that.
I do
next few
not
days.
miss Canada Post one little bit.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
Because my photo radar tickets are not being delivered.
Yeah, so what happens with that?
Well, actually, that's not true because they are being delivered by couriers.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm not getting anything perfect.
Because I think like Uber and guys like that have picked up delivery contracts as well. So they're not just carrying bodies; they're carrying freight.
Actually, I saw on Uber that a courier option where you send something to family or friends, and they'll come, which I thought was really interesting. I've never seen that before.
It's like an Uber van, though, or is it like a?
No, I think it's just a car,
regular
like the car.
car.
Like instead of driving you somewhere, they could come. Like if I wanted to send something to my parents right now, I could be like, "Hey, courier this." They'll come here. I'll give it to them, and they'll drive it to my parents.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So-
I wonder if it's the same price. So
It was a
like
little
it's
cheaper,
regular-
actually.
Oh, okay.
But that's probably because they don't have the body inside or whatever. So
True. I have to take care of a person.
and they could probably then quickly do a ride if they wanted to, and they don't have to rush it right away to the next spot or something like that.
I wondered when you just said body. I wonder if they would take a body. Like if you killed somebody, would they take a body and dump it somewhere?
I don't think so. And I'm going to say I'm probably not going to try.
Okay. It's just wanted to clear the air, folks.
No, right, we're all thinking it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Speak for yourself.
Because this time of year, tensions run pretty high in some families. So if you were thinking about it, don't. Just stop. And I probably even shouldn't make wisecracks about it.
I think just in general, you could just think about it and stop. Doesn't have to be just Christmas time.
Yeah, true.
I'll just throw that one out there.
Yeah.
That's
any time of the year.
My medication's wearing off.
Need some haggis?
It's that time.
It's lunchtime for you, maybe. Haggis?
Well, I've been up since 5. I'm an old guy.
That was
I gotta go to
the tube
potty.
socks joking that he had with you on Friday.
What's that?
Well, that you were here and he was saying it's almost like dinner for you and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Tube socks was coming at you a little bit there. So yeah, there's some haggis for you if you need
I
some.
got to get into the Crown.
Need to
one of
save
these
it for
days to
Trey.
see him.
That's where he went on Friday.
He
after
was
being here.
there yesterday, stuff in the ballot box for Savage, because the Crown gives away certain memorabilia. Well, the current, I think the draw is today. So when you're in there at a certain time, or you get a pint of such and such, you go on a draw. And this week it's a Rams helmet. And
that's
Savage is just going berserk. He wants that. So in a gesture of camaraderie and fellowship, nasty fellowship, Tube Socks was at the Crown, stuffing that box as much as he could, and he got home later than he wanted to, apparently. But
Sure.
shout out
Later
to Tube
than he
Socks.
wanted to.
Yeah.
You're a Jags fan, right?
Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's been tough, but I find I cheer for teams that are usually down on their luck, it seems.
But the Jags were supposed to be good.
You know what? But Rip City Step and I are both Jags fans.
Oh, I didn't know
So
Step was too.
we were talking about it, and actually they had a tough schedule this year too. You were looking at some of the teams they played. They played some pretty good teams, but I'll take this year off the NFL. It was the Yankees this year. If you want to talk about them,
We can.
Juan Soto.
Really wanted, they needed the World Series. They needed to win it.
do you know what I find funny though? So he signs a huge contract, and everyone's talking about the money and stuff. If the Yankees would have done that, they wouldn't have been talking the same. They just would have said, "Here's the Yankees spending again."
That's a great point.
Right? That's
It
all
would've-
they would have been saying.
Yeah, now it's just, look at this contract. No one's saying the Mets are buying a championship. But the
But-
Yankees paid for Juan Soto. Oh, buying a championship.
Exactly.
You're trying to buy a championship.
Yep, that's exactly it. That's exactly what they would be saying. So
And what was the difference in salary that they offered? It was one more year. So he got 15 years, 656.
765.
765.
And then
Sorry,
the
100
Yankees
million.
offered 16 years, I think 760.
I like Soto. He was amazing to watch with the Yankees during the playoffs.
He was a great. He did everything the Yankees could have asked for the entire regular season.
But
from game one to the last game,
Yep.
he was a great bat.
Yep. I'm glad they didn't sign him to this contract.
Really?
I think they can. I think they can do better.
The only reason, I'm generally worried about these contracts. I didn't really like the Aaron Judge contract because I'm like, how many more years are you going to get of Aaron Judge at that? Like, at some point, he's going to start falling off. Soto's different, though, because he's only 26.
Well,
He's 20. He's so young still that of
Yeah.
his 15-year contract, I'm expecting 9-10 years. He's really good baseball.
he's a great
still from
player.
Juan Soto.
yeah. But that's a lot of money to tie up on your team.
I was resigned to the fact since pre-playoffs that Soto was going to the Mets.
Wow.
So I'm like, I didn't get my hopes up at all. I wasn't expecting to see the Mets or the Yankees get Juan Soto at all. So when I saw it, oh yeah, he's going to the Mets, I was like, yeah, that's what was going to always happen. I'm okay with this. But I'm also now I don't know how the Yankees go win a World Series in the next few years.
I mean, you look at him and Judge in the playoffs. I'd rather take Soto, the way Judge was performing.
Oh, absolutely. Soto knows how to play in the playoffs, and Judge hasn't been able to.
No.
And now it's
And he
okay,
hasn't.
How do you replace him in the lineup, Soto? They were willing, obviously, to spend however money per year on that. They're not going to do that for any player. But can they go get one or two more players to fill out their roster?
I know they have one. I think he's a center fielder coming up who's supposed to be a top prospect.
Yes.
Can't remember his name. Spencer something.
I was
Switcher
reading
Jones?
about it yesterday, and they're saying he'll probably be in the outfield next year.
So they got him maybe. So maybe they're trying to use that because I know there is also a Japanese pitcher coming. That's highly touted.
He'll
so.
go to the Dodgers though.
But,
just like Yamamoto did last year. He was supposed to be a Yankee, and all of a sudden he's a Dodger.
Yep.
I will say this about the Yankees. They actually do a good job of getting prospects and developing prospects.
They don't
get enough credit for that.
That's how I became a Yankees fan. 96. I started, but Jeter starting in 95. Followed Derek Jeter's career.
Jeter, Posada, Rivera. Well, Rivera
Pettit.
wasn't a full pro. I can't remember how they got him, but it was they didn't draft him, I don't think, but they got him young. And Pettit.
Yep.
And Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams. Yep.
And then in 09 when they won, I'd have to go back and look at it, but there was quite a few players that they also developed and drafted.
Was Brett Gardner one?
Brett Gardner would have been one. And so the Yankees have always been good at doing a mix. They go spend money, but they also develop their own players. And they don't get enough credit for that. But I don't want more credit for that because the Yankees are still better than everyone else.
They are.
Screw it.
Have you seen that Derek Jeter documentary?
Did they win this year?
No, they haven't, but they won 27 titles. Has anyone else won 27 titles? In Major League Baseball.
Oh, in
In
baseball.
any major sport. No.
Canadians.
No.
Yeah, they have
No.
24.
34 or something.
They have 24.
They have 24? Oh.
I thought the Canadians have 24.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
You're very rarely wrong, Matthew.
1998 Yankees, greatest baseball team ever assembled.
1998, hey?
114 wins. They went on to win the World Series.
Seriously?
The very next year, Seattle had more wins, 116, but they lost to the Yankees in the playoffs. And the Yankees won the World Series that year.
24.
24, okay.
24.
I got the 4 right.
Yeah.
That's it. I got half of it right, but the wrong half to get wrong. Now, the thing about baseball, though, that really intrigues me is teams could spend, well, not $0, but very low amounts of money and just be there, like exist in the MLB. And then you could be like the Yankees, where it's every time you're dishing out so much money, you see the contracts, and it's like, okay, Yankees are always top tier.
Notice it
Baseball
goes to the
team.
Yankees again?
Yeah.
And not the Dodgers?
The Dodgers.
Or the Mets of recent years?
Yep.
Just
Well,
proving Dustyn's point for the last little bit there.
Yeah,
Well, the
everyone-
Yankees is the most notable
Coming at the
MLB
Yankees.
franchise
Always
of
come
all
at the
time.
Yankees.
The Dodgers payroll, I can't remember what it is, but the Dodgers is quite a bit more than the Yankees. Isn't it?
I think this year the Yankees were higher than the Dodgers because of the partly deferred payments of Ohtani.
Yes, that contract.
If you add the money that Ohtani was going to be getting and stuff and take away the deferred, I think they jump higher. The Mets were higher. But I think the Yankees were the number 2 payroll this year.
And see, there's, I think, a lot
But
more.
I get what you're saying. We're just joking.
Yeah, oh, no.
But a
The
lot
Yankees
more,
have generally been that team.
a lot more owners they have that money to spend, but they're just cheap and they don't want to.
You know, what's like the highest spending team per salary and then like the lowest? Like, I wonder how much
think it
of the
would be
difference
Oakland.
is. Like $1 billion
it's-
difference or something. Not that high, but
Like,
Oakland, of course.
Soto is getting a $75 million signing bonus. That is more than a couple of teams' payrolls for this upcoming season, probably.
It's
Yeah,
obscene.
They got to make a cap
Absolutely
on it.
obscene.
Or like, right?
Well,
there would be
there's
more
luxury
competition.
Yeah, no. So that's the one thing people argue is at some point you have to create a floor. You have to tell teams and a ceiling, obviously, like more like hockey or something where it's you have to spend a certain amount. You have to like in hockey, you have to spend to a certain percent of the cap. You can't be below that floor, except Columbus had to get special exemption this year because Gaudreau's passing.
Right.
That was a big contract that all of a sudden they fell below the floor, and it was like, well, how do you replace that contract? Like just at the snap of the finger at that point of the season. So they were given a special exemption, but generally you have to be above a certain floor, and you have to be below the cap. And people are saying in baseball at some point you have to do both of those because there's too many teams out there that choose to not spend money and just live and be happy because they rank in all the revenue sharing. They take on all that money, but they don't put it back into their team.
And that's one of the, few reasons why I avoid really watching or wanting to become a baseball fan is because you know that there's those teams that can just really pay for a championship in a sense. And there's less competition because you see the Athletics. It's like, well, what do they have, like 12 wins? Not that low of wins in 162 games or whatever.
Like Matty was
64,
saying, some of the best Yankees teams were the ones that developed their talent from within.
Which is also exciting.
I'll say this about buying
it too,
championship though. It was like last year. So this year, Dodgers won, obviously, helped buy a championship. Yankees, you could argue, would have bought a championship if they won this year. Mets too. But the year prior, it was Rangers Diamondbacks in the World Series, and you wouldn't argue that either of those two teams bought a World Champ title. And like you go back, if we look back at the last 10 World Series champions, Like everyone thinks that the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Mets spend all this money and they're buying championships. Well, in the end, between those three teams, there's only 2 World Series titles between those two. Those three.
2009.
But for the Yankees, 2009. But like it's the Dodgers only have 2 titles themselves basically since they've been spending all this money. This theory of buying championships kind of has gone away over the last little bit because the biggest spenders aren't actually winning.
No, they're not.
I'm a Giants fan, and I don't care who wins the World Series as long as it's not the Astros. Sorry, Norman, a combine. No Astros.
Because of the
I'd
cheating.
agree with that. They are a bunch of cheaters.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that one.
Yankees should have won that World Series too.
At the very least, they should have been in one more World Series in that span. They screwed the Dodgers out of a title.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
But they took it too far. Can't use technology. Steal signs all you want. Don't use technology. Or if you get caught, okay, here's the thing. I'm okay with that. But if you get caught, you deserve penalties for it. And they got 0 penalties.
Okay, I'm going to go
That's a
around the
joke.
horn.
Okay.
If you guys individually were ever major league ball players, what team would you like to play on the most?
Oh, a Yankee.
Really?
You become a star. Like
Would you like to live in New York City?
I've always dreamed of living in New York.
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting. I wouldn't want to live there though.
I would. Although my life as I got older, I'd rather now live in LA because more beautiful weather. So I'd also like to go play in that area or Arizona, I guess. But no, New York Yankees, because also if you win with the Yankees, you won with the Yankees. Like there's something special
Right.
to that.
Could
The
you
Yankees
imagine?
are the #1 team in the city of New York. Period.
To be
The
a part of
Expos.
their alumni, it'd just be amazing. Like they always keep
Because you
talking
speak
about now they
French?
gotta do something with jerseys
No.
because they're running
Okay.
out of numbers. Most retired jerseys.
No, seriously. Where would you go?
I mean, it'd be easy to say Toronto, but I've never been to Toronto. Just to say, oh well, I'm a Canadian boy playing for a Canadian team, but probably somewhere in LA, like the Dodgers. Be easy to say
Twins?
that.
No.
No.
Although Minnesota's it's a great place. I would like San Diego.
Beautiful city.
Great city.
You'd have no pressure.
Yeah. And you can get a really good salad in Tijuana.
They also have a great little Italy.
And the Old Town in San Diego. It's great.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually would be someone that would like the pressure of a big team. Like in hockey, I wouldn't be afraid of playing. If I was Connor McDavid, I wouldn't be afraid of being in Edmonton. I wouldn't be one of those guys that wants to go to Tampa to live in obscurity.
Yeah.
You embrace it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personally.
Or live in
But
Winnipeg.
then if you're in Tampa and you go to the liquor store, you're not being harassed when you're trying to put a couple of cases of beer in the trunk of your car.
Wouldn't care.
Hey, if they helped him, right? Hopefully Trey Ford gets help
I'd give
with
him a
his
hand.
beers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd buy it for him.
he's got enough money.
It doesn't matter. As the
You'd
president,
buy it for
as the
him?
president of Trey Ford fan club, I'd do my part to.
You'd have to
help our
have that as an
quarterback,
added
as
expense.
the city's
Yeah.
quarterback. Maybe I can charge it back to the company in some
I
way.
was gonna say,
I'll
yeah.
sneak it through somehow.
So there's no way MVT's coming back here next year.
I don't know why he'd want to. The fans did not embrace him at all.
No.
And I feel bad for him for that, but they didn't want him. And it'd be like he got booed multiple times at games.
Right.
I wouldn't be coming back as a backup, and if I was coming back as a backup, he wouldn't be in this city.
Where is it that you boo, but you're actually cheering for a team? Like what? There's certain spots in the world that I swear when you boo, you're actually cheering on the team.
Are you saying boo or booer?
I was thinking the
Booing.
exact same thing there.
Well,
Simpsons
and then
reference.
whistling too, like whistle to boo.
The only thing,
another parts of
the
the
other
world,
one
right?
is Primus. When you're at a Primus concert, you yell, "Is it Primus sucks?"
Primus?
Yeah,
I thought it was like Primus.
yeah, Primus.
EST spelling bee. I thought it was Primus.
No, it's Primus.
Primus?
Primus.
It's Primus. There's
Primus.
no E. So it'd be Prim. It's Prime us?
Primus.
Wow.
Do you know like Amazon Prime?
But there's no E.
Primus.
It's US, not. I just learned
Well,
something
moving
new.
along
I
here.
just
but-
learned something new. I thought it was Primus.
You chant, I think it's Primus
Oh,
sucks.
boy.
Primus sucks to the band.
Okay.
but it's the thing that their fans do, and that's out of love.
Yeah, I'd be saying Primus sucks.
I don't know about booing as. I've honestly never heard of. That'd be fascinating to me. Where you're actually certain place where you're booing,
somewhere in,
but it's
like,
cheering.
Dinosaur doesn't
Scandinavia.
have an E, and you say dino. You don't say dino. Right? I'm with you, man.
Yeah, that's just very. Well, it's also even Brett Favre makes no sense, but it's pronounced Favre.
That's for all the dyslexics out there.
Yes.
They,
Liz Deslux. Sorry, I don't want to make fun of that.
So you called it Primus?
I've been calling it Primus since I've known the band's existence, maybe for like 5 years or something. I don't know.
So it's.
It sounds better.
It doesn't sound better. Primus sounds just fine.
we got about a half an hour left. I didn't want to leave here without getting you guys into Kabaddi.
Yes.
Kabaddi. They play it in India and Pakistan.
Okay.
We were watching it. You showed me some clips last night. Yeah.
I was showing some clips of these. It's a really funky game. It's like a train wreck, and you can't stop watching it. I saw it on telly when I was in India in 2018, and then I found out that they have a tournament here in Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
it
gonna
looks
go watch
great.
it?
Yeah, absolutely. Next
Where
time,
is it?
I don't know. I haven't researched it that much. Kabaddi.
Sorry, I got a text from Josh Clausen.
Oh, okay.
But just saying, another vowel following the I and another letter makes the I long.
There's going to be
take
exceptions
that.
to every
I stand
rule. though.
corrected. I before you, accept after.
We're just
C,
going to
but-
leave that all. We're just going to leave that all now. So what was that called?
Kabaddi.
So you got to give them a quick rundown on what's happening in the rules. It's really cool.
It's
I've never heard of it.
like the first time I saw it was played in a gymnasium, and they use half a gymnasium. So you get 7 guys on one team and one opponent. So he crosses the center line, and as I
jeez.
understand it, they have to. The single guy, he tries to touch as many opponents as he can without being tackled, and then get back across his own line or his defensive side, if you will. It's fast and furious.
India's ancient contact sport.
Yeah.
This looks fascinating.
Yeah, and they play it here in the city. And I'll tell you what,
The object is the raider to run into the opposing team's half, take as many defenders as possible, and return without being tackled.
yeah,
All within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But if the raider is tackled, the defending team scores a point. Because, that's somebody explaining something after. So, yeah, I'm watching an ABC Australia recap or a TikTok explaining how this goes. It's stamina, it's power, it's endurance, says this one person from ancient India.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, get into
We
that.
were showing it last night. It looked pretty interesting.
It's really interesting.
So are you going to go play it?
Me play
Yeah.
on these knees. I'm on the list for an urgent list for a double knee replacement.
Oh.
So I could get a call this afternoon. Don't eat for 12 hours. Get in here, and I'm gone.
Wow.
The next thing
I hope you get that call soon.
The next time you see me running, there'll be free beer at the end of the block. I don't run anymore, as you can tell by my somewhat girthy countenance.
I just thought maybe you'd want to try it one time.
Oh, in my next life, I will.
Doesn't hurt to try until it does.
I wonder if Jasmine knows. She must know about this.
She was in the Nasty Chat earlier, but she's off in like a course or something today. So we'll have to ask her.
The next time she's on. Yeah.
The official drink of the EST Hangout, by the way, it is the Finnish long drink. Legend of 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment. Real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. It's where you can enter your postal code and find a liquor store nearest you that has the Finnish long drink. You can also pick it up at an Oiler game tonight if you're heading off to go see the Oilers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got the traditional and the sugar-free traditional at Rogers Place. I forgot to throw the Hive one earlier, too.
What did
It's stuck up there.
you just said Tiger with that?
It's stuck with Tiger.
Yeah.
What were you going to ask?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
No, I got distracted by Tiger there.
No, Avery, we will not do a Kabaddi tournament in the summer of 2025.
No fun spiel and Kabaddi tournament, and same year?
I think there's going to have to be too many waivers signed for a Kabaddi tournament.
could we do an MMA tournament? No, I'm kidding.
No,
Oh no.
no. I think,
Yeah, no,
I think
I'm
I'm
just
good
kidding.
right now. We've got our 4 majors. We'll see how the Bonspiel goes, or the Funspiel, and that will be our 4th major of events.
What's the cost to enter the fun spiel?
Full details will come in the new year. I'm thinking it'll be about $275 a team total.
Looking forward to
That's
it.
very good.
So
Should be a great time.
not
Have you curled?
$2.75.
Why don't you round it up
Never
to
threw a rock
300?
in my life.
I don't know.
Or make it 280, which is divisive of 4. $70 a head.
But then you got to add the GST in there. I guess I could just leave it at 280. Let me do the math after. I didn't think about.
Maybe Trudeau will have another GST exemption
We'll see if that happens.
for the EST spiel.
We'll see. That's New Year map problem. Current map problem is making sure we get through Christmas. We got people off, so gotta.
Small goals.
We'll get
we do.
through it. We'll get through it. And then you got no other game tonight. GCLD's Ulster pregame show. I think that'd be 6 o'clock tonight because the game 7 Oilers and Lightning. Tommy Hernan, Joaquin Gage will be on following the Reed Wilkins shows. They'll get you set for the Oilers and the Lightning. They'll also have the GCL Diesel Ulster post game show. Also a reminder that we do have in about 30 minutes time. We do got the lock shop. We've got 2 guys and a goalie today. We've got the EST afternoons with Hernan and Gager, as well as the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne. And please hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it because if we get to 11,000,
Dusty has to eat a pickled herring.
yes, and we have to do it before Christmas, and we're just under 400 away.
Easy.
And now I don't know, is it when we? Yeah, did Dusty say before he leaves for Christmas or just before Christmas?
I thought it was Christmas Day he was mentioning.
Perfect, Christmas Day. So we need just under 400 more subs. Based on the numbers, like people generally on the Hangouts, people that are watching, about 70% of the people on the Hangout are subscribers, but 30% aren't. So if you're one of those 30%, just click that quick subscribe button. You don't really get any alerts or anything.
It costs you nothing.
Costs you nothing. And in fact, we're just one step closer to forcing Dusty hating pickle herring.
He doesn't even like veggies on his burger. That's all you need to know.
Which is just, pickles are amazing.
Yeah.
Pickles,
Onions.
onions sometimes, a little bit of lettuce.
The tomato is the staff of life.
There you go. I mean, you got to try something new once in a while, right? Like us today.
And he will try pickled herring, though, if we get to 11,000.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Such a bad thing to try for him.
Pickled
especially.
herring?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, it's
if I've
good,
had
but
pickled
he
herring.
will not like it. That's the thing.
I want him to try head cheese now.
I had cheese.
I offered him some.
It's good.
Anchovies on pizza? I don't mind that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, anchovies in the but not enough people I
raw
don't feel
pizza?
like use anchovies in the Caesar salad dressing anymore.
That's the way to make it.
It's very salty.
After the show's over, I'll tell you a funny story about anchovy paste.
Oh, sounds really.
The fascinating thing is that you have a funny story about anchovy paste.
Such a
that is the
random
best
thing,
part
yeah.
of all this too. It's not that you have a funny story to tell me. It's you have one on anchovy paste.
Specifically, yeah.
That's very specific, yeah.
I got a lot of funny stories. I'm
You
old.
do.
I'm old. I know stuff.
It's amazing how many great stories that you have. Some of them can't be used on air.
I've been walking this earth for a half a century longer than he's been alive. Can you believe it?
Half a century
can.
longer than okay.
I can believe it.
Like one of the best lines ever was from old George Burns, who I think died at the age of 102, and he was on Johnny Carson, and he said, "If I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself." Well, that's me, you know.
Going back to the Yankees, that's Mickey Mantle.
He did not take care of himself.
Nope. Because his father and grandfather both died young.
And he had
Enjoy life, then.
cirrhosis of the liver. He had how many liver transplants?
No idea.
One for sure. And then he didn't quit drinking.
No.
And how old was Mick when he died?
I want to say he died around early 90s, I believe. So
No. How old was he?
yeah, so I'm just working it back from there. So he played
I think he was
60s.
I think he was in his early 60s.
63.
Yeah.
Look at you with your great memory.
At least that's holding up.
Yeah. Never saw him play, but that's a pretty tragic story.
Do you want to? So you said there was the fourth item. I think you said we got
That was
three
it,
or four.
Kabaddi.
Oh, that was the extra one. So we've
was-
hit all four.
Yep.
What was on your list?
I wanted to give a shout out to Joelle.
Kate.
And I wanted to talk about my distaste and for Creed and the support that Eric showed for my distaste for Creed, and I wanted to talk about the French word for swimming pool, the piscine, and Kabaddi. So yeah,
Oh.
Wow, we hit all four.
I got nothing.
At the time.
I got, we can go out and play crib for a half an hour. Yeah.
Are you a crib guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
I love crib. We were
How
talking
often
about
do
that
you crib
yesterday.
tournaments?
I'm every Tuesday.
Well, it's every Tuesday.
Today.
Creed Tuesdays.
I'm at the Legion
Yeah.
in St. Albert, and there's about 24 retired folk in there. 3:00, we play 7 games, $10 buy-in,
Teams or singles?
singles, and then the top 3 in points they split the $240 if it's 24 people. But we run. I'm starting to run tournaments at the rugby club, trying to do one a month, one every 6 weeks type of thing. I've notified some of the folks
That
before.
would be fun.
Now, is that teams, Legion, or single?
Singles.
Okay.
It's way
It's a lot
easier
of
to
pressure
run.
for teams.
I immediately have Jay. I want to jump in on a team with Jay.
Yeah,
one
but the
day
trouble with
Thursday.
teams is
Well, you're 1-6 here in the office, so.
I'm aware.
the trouble
I'm
with
aware of
teams
that.
is there's
Just stick that.
there's
knife
some
in me.
skullduggery that can go on when there's teams.
Oh,
So it's got to be a random team almost. You can't come there with a partner already. You just got to put in and get matched up. Then that'll prove.
Yeah, some places they kind of shuffle the deck as you rotate. You wind up with a different partner all the time. But it's a pain in the ass. Singles is way better.
the crib gods hate me right now. I'm having some real tough luck winning games. The last game I played here. There's a luck to it, Zach. Even Jay felt bad how he beat me in the last one because it just wasn't lucky and stuff. So I'm 1-6. We've taught Reed how to play. Jay's played, Trev's played, I've played. Hernan's on the board, but he's never played a game.
And
but
he's
on
still higher than you in the
the power
standings.
rankings. Hernan is higher than me because I'm having a rough time on crib. Great game.
Sometimes you don't get the bounces.
You just don't get the cards.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can do when you don't get the cards.
Exactly.
Have you
It's-
won your
it's fun.
tournament?
Yep.
You one of the better players that goes?
I would be in the top 80 percentile.
Top 80
Like
percentile.
last
So that means
week,
you're top 20.
last week
No.
top 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last week I skunked 2 people and I still didn't finish in the money.
Really?
Some of these old farts are really good. Some of these old farts are really lucky too.
Well, yeah. Like, how do you get that good? Like, you can't. You just get the cards.
They get the cuts all the time. Well, that's it, right? You can be a good player and not win a nickel just because you're not getting the cards.
Or some people are bringing their own cards
No. Oh, it's all
above board.
it's all about get it? Ba-doom-ba. Did you get that?
No.
You play with a crib board, and he just said it's above board. So it's very clever.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have one every so often. A clever comment.
As you can tell, I'm looking
It's
for another
rare.
invitation back. Maybe I'll get on with Trey Ford tomorrow.
No, I actually gotta. I gotta figure I gotta figure when Trey's coming on. They don't know yet, but either Tommy or Bells is getting cut tomorrow.
Oh, I don't feel bad.
Which
if I-
one's later?
If I don't
Like,
make the
which one?
short list.
What do you mean?
Shows up the latest most times. Because I've seen times where Belsey has been here and then Tommy wasn't.
Yeah, but he's
And then
got
times
No,
where-
Tommy's always going to be here though to start,
Okay.
but it's.
Belsey's got the parenting thing going on, right?
What do you mean the parenting thing?
Well, he's got a newbie,
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
And he's a coach too.
Born in like September.
right? But then how old
Excuses
is how
at
old
this
is his
point.
oldest?
A few years, but like he has his. I know that with at the Silent Ice Center, they're doing like these winter championships, so he might be busy with that as well.
Yeah, his team
But I
plays
also like
this
just
weekend.
for like having a former pro athlete with these pro athletes. I do like having that dynamic sometimes because it's just like I don't know what Trey's going through. I don't know what Gavin Cobb goes through. I don't know what it's like to be Gavin Cobb and like wondering, are you going to get a contract this year or not? I don't know what it's like to get that new contract and stuff. Belsey does. So that's where, and then it's also timing, and I got to figure that out. But I just got to hear when Trey's coming in, and then figure out what's one of them is getting cut. So just keep that on the down low.
And Belsey always picks his favorites for Belsey's picks on Hello Hockey. He picked all the favorites, I think, this weekend. I don't know how the favorites did, but he makes his picks every Saturday on Hello Hockey from 10 to noon here on EST every Saturday. But he picked all the favorites this week. He didn't go really made the easy choice,
We'll
but
have
I
to
don't
see
know
how
if
he
it was
did
the
then.
easy one. Yeah.
Because if it worked out, then he looks like a brilliant man.
But if it doesn't, then you picked all the favorites and you didn't
Yeah, it's which is boring.
risk it. Yeah.
It's almost time, actually. I do pick every college football game before the college football bowl season. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Nothing beats college game day on Saturday morning.
I played rugby at tournaments with other teams for a beer after the game. Do I still maintain my amateur status, or was that some sort of payment that would make me a professional?
Was there a contract?
I was going to say.
No.
Then I don't think it's a
A
professional.
verbal contract.
Good, I can still compete in the Olympics.
You maintain your amateur status.
Exactly. And you've heard me play the bagpipes. I am not in the musicians union either. So, again,
What's wrong with you playing the bagpipes?
I am not the best.
I think you played just fine.
That's because you're uneducated.
You were excellent. Wow, that's harsh.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow.
Well, no,
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage,
Let me
Canada
rephrase
Store's
that.
experts. There's no taking that back. More than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. I need one right now after that burn. 50% off 12 weeks ends December 15th. Sentinel.ca. Matt Iwanyk, Dustyn with a Y, Ian Ferguson, and Zachticum. You hear? The EST Hangout is presented by Sentinel Storage. I'm uneducated. Cool.
No, you're uninformed.
Oh, that's even better.
I retract. I retract that.
Could say ignorant.
No, not at all. He's working on it.
You don't have the finely tuned ear for it, I guess.
I love a good bagpipe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like listening to them.
That's all right.
I thought you were great at the Estes.
Yeah,
They did a wonderful job.
He tried
pipes,
extra
the
hard.
pipes were in tune. Yeah, they didn't sound actually. That was a good haul too. The acoustics in there was decent.
So I thought you were great.
Yep.
You've done it at the Nasty Bash, and it was wonderful.
Yep.
Curling.
Oh, actually,
yeah,
we need that. The
were
opening
made-
ceremony.
Is there like a big bowl, like a Briar Bowl type thing, or a McDonald Lassie trophy?
like championship?
Yeah.
I got to buy it. It won't be a bowl.
Do you want me to research that for you?
To buy it?
Yeah.
I have a place I know I could get it from. That's rather well priced.
Oh, okay. Because I like to scour Goodwill,
Oh, those.
Value Village,
Yeah.
Salvation Army.
Oh, if you see a good curling one, let me
come
know.
up with some quality finds. Let me.
But I can get one that's nice and great. Like the people that did our Estes trophies.
So good.
I was
Yeah.
looking at them
Yeah.
because the Estes trophies. Did you ever display it at the rugby club?
Yep. Oh yeah, it's behind the bar. Absolutely.
Nice. Because it won event of the year.
Back in I think it was 2005, they had the World Curling Championships in Victoria at Memorial Arena. So you know how when they bring out the Grey Cup and all that sort of stuff, you got Mounties and Red
Yeah.
Stars. Well, I carried out the cup.
Did you?
Yep.
Cool.
With the trophy, the
Yeah.
World Curling, and one of the handles was broken because you know how really pristine they keep the Stanley Cup and the Grey Cup, white gloves and all that. So I take this thing out of. I had to take it out of the box. One of the handles was broken, and there was dried beer foam all over it. And I looked
Perfect.
at the
sounds very
organizer.
curling.
I looked at the organizer. I said, "What is this?" That's the Swedes. They're savages because they won it the year before, right? And they threw it around the room and were chugging beer and all. Anyway, so if you win the World Curling Championship, because I know there's some viewers out there of this very program that are high-skilled curlers that could advance, make sure you treat those trophies with the due respect.
Now, is it their fault that they didn't clean it, or is it though? It would be on the organizer, though, right?
Well, you would think it would be a combination thereof. Like treat it with a bit of reverence, and then to the organizers, yeah, do your due diligence.
Yeah, they really went off the handle.
They didn't keep it above board. He didn't even get that one.
I think I did,
Yeah,
but like,
that's a good save.
yeah. I made up
Well
for
done,
it.
Zach.
Thank you. I'm here for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, try the haggis.
You guys ready for the Oiler game tonight?
Oh yeah, always ready for an oil game. Oilers.
Still waiting to hear. It might be the first game I go to at Rogers tonight.
Have you never been to Rogers?
What?
Never been to a game.
What do you mean you're still waiting here? Like just
are you
from
taking your
somebody
daughter?
that's
No, my sister has tickets and
cool.
and she's gonna let me know. But I don't know. I'd rather watch at home.
It's loud.
it depends when you go. It's loud.
But the good part is they don't play Creed.
Are you sure?
They do.
They're gonna play Creed tonight.
And Nickelback, at least once.
They announced Creed. You don't think they're gonna play some Creed?
No, they'll
Going
play
to that bar?
Nickelback.
It's going to be on the big screen.
They'll play some Creed.
They have an ad right
They're
up
gonna
there.
have Creed
Goalies.
specialty jerseys tonight.
Go Minnesota. Those guys don't play Creed.
Creed is popular now. Everyone's gonna start playing Creed.
It's a big meme.
That's why they have a concert series. Like Dustyn and Eric were into Creed when it was not cool to be into Creed. Now everyone loves Creed.
Yeah.
And everyone's just gonna think Dustyn and Eric were guys that just like started Creed Tuesday, but like
Eric is not into Creed.
I'm
You
aware of
overstepped.
Eric.
You overstepped your
Well,
bounds there.
He's into the idea.
With the
When I was doing my prep last night for this show, because all you guys do prep, right?
Yeah, totally.
So just to try and buy into it, I had gone down the rabbit hole with Creed, and so they mentioned Coldplay from time to time.
I love Coldplay personally.
Fantastic.
I didn't do a thing for me,
Yeah.
but that's
Which
just me.
Coldplay did you listen to?
Paradise. There was something else.
Of course, there's something else. That's a great name. That's
3 or 4 other tunes that they didn't resonate with me. So
But were they the older stuff or the newer stuff? That's the thing. Like Paradise is like right on the middle. It's as they switch from the old sound to the new sound.
well, it didn't make my prep notes, so
So,
it
but
didn't
that-
have a lasting experience.
But that's where like Coldplay's initial like 3 albums are like some of the best albums you could come across. And there's a lot of people that don't like Coldplay now because they've gone too poppy. I still like Coldplay through it all, but their first few albums were amazing. So you may not have listened to some of those first few songs. In fact, actually, Montreal Canadiens do come out to Fix You, which I still can't believe that somehow they've turned a song like Fix You into a song that will pump you up to get started for a game, but it works.
That's the only song I know by them that I could
Fix
name.
You?
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to give it a try this afternoon.
I'd say that one's more of a slower one and stuff. I'd watch it. Like if you're going to listen to that one, listen to it, like find a version of the Montreal Canadiens coming out to it. You might like it better.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. How do they make that work?
They
It's a
do
real
it.
pump-up
It's
song.
awesome.
Have to check that out.
Like Goosebumps comes down. Like the next time they're in the playoffs, if they keep that Fix You going, like they should, because they'll just Goosebumps completely.
You ever heard of Johnny Lang?
I've heard of Johnny Lang. Maybe once or twice or 3 times.
Great blues player. When he was 17 or 18, he opened for Eric Clapton.
It's not, well, it's
kid's
not
got
big
some
rec
skill.
opening for Creed.
Eric
though.
Clapton? Is that what you're saying? That kid has some skill?
Yeah.
Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton. No, I said Johnny Lang opened for Eric Clapton. I think it was Monterey. It was a while back.
It's like big rec opening for Creed.
Lieutenant Eric does do love the idea of them. You are right, Zach.
Well, it's just like the aura around him, right? Like they were talking about, it's very Albertan. It's a very Albertan band. It's like Nickelback. It's just like and I don't mean this as disrespect, but like generic kind of rock, kind of grunge, not grunge, but like grimy kind of stuff. I love it. I have it in my workout playlist. Creed.
I was glad to give the palate cleanser at 1260 to the Creed Tuesday. That was the day I did Twang Tuesday, which was a lot of fun.
Johnny Cash.
I'd buy into that all day long.
Yeah, we're doing that all sorts. And then actually, I was very proud of the days that we had Metal Monday.
Metal Mondays. Yes. I remember.
12 to, well, when it was just the Dave Jameson show, it was the whole all Monday, 12 to 2, metal music. And I would try to find like metal music. And weirdly enough, of the entire Bell Media radio stations, some place in Windsor had all the good metal stuff.
Yeah, it was all GWAR.
I actually only like one GWAR song I would play. I would go find like as much deep metal as I could find. We had Funk
Whitechapel.
Friday. And I did Hip Thursday once a month. Did I do anything else? I think that was about it.
On behalf of the people receiving old age security, I'll go on record as saying I've never heard of GWAR.
GWAR. GWAR.
Common spelling. The Q is silent.
GWAR. It's a bunch of aliens who have come to Earth.
That would be. I would like to go to a GWAR show with you. That would be something else.
Their music is nothing to write home about. It's the show that you go watch where these aliens do a show. On stage, they generally decapitate the president of the United States, whoever the president may be.
They frolic.
Whether it be Obama, whether it be Biden, whether it be Trump.
Lyndon B.
Their head gets decapitated and
That's kind of hate speech. And
blood gets squirted
There's
into
lots
the
of blood.
crowd. And in the crowd, if you're in the mosh pit, you get sprayed with blood. There's a lot of limbs that get cut off on stage, and blood and other liquids hit the crowd.
I'd rather go see the
appendages.
comedian with the sledgehammer that pounds the watermelon and soaks everybody. What the heck was that guy's name?
I know what you're talking about.
Gallagher.
Gallagher. Yeah, that's it.
GWAR is a fascinating story.
GWAR is interesting. You've talked about it a couple times.
Well,
They're
Zach,
at Midway,
Eric, and
yeah.
I went.
yeah.
We
Midway,
went,
it was life-changing.
When did we go?
Life-changing.
It was March
it was-
last year.
Oh, it was March? Well,
Yeah.
I know there was like snow on the ground. No, it was chilly. There wasn't snow, but I went there. I had no clue what to expect. I've seen the video once. It's
So that's GWAR.
Right there. Yeah.
That's a GWAR concert.
It was a time.
And
I didn't wear a white shirt.
and then a lot of people go in the white shirt because they get sprayed and stuff. And I got hit with some stuff. It was awesome. It was wonderful. And yeah, they just do their thing.
It's a production. It's not just the music. It's everything.
Yeah, this is
I would hate to
person
have to
before
clean
at
that
the
up.
start of the GWAR show.
Yeah.
And then there's the GWAR show. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit quicker.
I'm pretty sure I'd be in bed by the time they came
And
on
there's the
stage.
end of the GWAR show. Their white shirt's completely covered.
Oh,
So that's it is a lot of fun. Oh, here you go. So if you go on TikTok, see there's Biden. And it's it's a thing where it's like they do it to all, like there's no political affiliation. They don't believe
They do
one
to
way. They
everyone,
just do
yeah.
it to everyone. And they're
Equal.
aliens.
Yeah.
Did you have any of you
If
ever
they-
heard of the NPR Tiny Desk series?
no.
So the artists go to like NPR and do like a concert inside the NPR offices. GWAR did one of them, weirdly enough.
GWAR did a tiny desk.
Yes.
I need to see this now.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Is
'Cause
GWAR
usually
ever
it's very
taking a
low
run at
key.
Trudeau?
No, they do the Americans.
Oh, okay.
They did take a run at Benjamin Netanyahu when we were here.
The only aliens
I would
only
pay
care
them
about
to-
the Americans.
To see them take a
Yeah,
run at
no,
Trudeau.
so they go all over the place.
Axe the tax.
Need to get to. We're not going there. Yeah. Fergie, we're not going there. Road Warriors brought to you by Haggis Heavy Haul Trailers, custom manufacturing heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas, equipment, highway transportation, quality, innovation, integrity, trusted by leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. As we mentioned, the Lightning are on the road here in Edmonton to take on the Edmonton Oilers. Elsewhere in the NHL, a busy slate. So some of the games have the Leafs in New Jersey to take on the Devils. You've got the Flames on the road against the Predators. The Jets are home to the road team, the Bruins. The other Canadian team playing today, it's the St. Louis Blues out in Vancouver to take on the Canadian team, the Canucks. So that's all part of today's NHL slate. Nothing else really major happening. There's NCAA basketball. Meh.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no Champions League or anything. I don't think. Oh, there is UEFA Champions League. Oh, I can't say anything right now because Eric's team's playing, so we won't talk about Liverpool and Girona. We're underway. Eric's probably going to be recording that and playing that, although there's 6 minutes in, so there's nothing I can really spoil. Celtics playing, which has Canadian Alistair Johnson on it. Do we have any other Canadians playing today? Bayern Munich and Shakhtar are playing, so Alphonso Davies won't be playing, actually. Alphonso Davies has a hamstring injury, so he's out till the new year at least. There you go. Aki still Road Warriors. That's what's on the schedule for tonight.
Thank you.
Fergie's going to go play some crib.
It's a big day.
Huge day. Yeah.
I expect to win.
I feel some cash coming in.
I expect the mojo of having some haggis today, watching us eat haggis today, and being on the hangout with your notes is going to propel you to a crib victory.
I hope so. And not being in the aura of a 1-in-6 crib player in the office is here. Sorry.
This keeps coming out.
Not sorry.
Where are you playing again?
St. Albert Legion.
Do they welcome?
All you got, you're non-member. You go up to the bar. They got a guest book there. You sign in, and you're in.
And they allow spectators?
No hats.
No hats?
It's a Legion. There's a picture of, it used to be Her Majesty, and there's a picture of His Majesty up there. So you treat it with a tad of reverence. But
I think
guys can't go?
that all started with you're gonna maybe go.
Yeah, I was gonna
and then
go
the
watch
moment
it.
the hat came, it was like, yeah, I prefer my hat.
well, the trouble is, you could take your hat off. But
Well, yeah, I don't mind. I could use a little bit of a haircut,
Yeah.
but
No, the hair looks good.
no.
Your hat hair looks great.
Yeah.
you could jump in. It only cost you $10.
there's a lot of pressure in that. I with all the
The skunkings.
with all the ringers you're
Well,
talking
do you ever
about.
go to the dog park, and you see all the dogs sniffing each other and stuff like that? All these old people would be sniffing you. You're like, who's this new guy?
Fresh
And-
meat.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a lot of widows up there. So you could, Did you see how big his eyes got when
No,
I
I
said that?
just. We're almost done here on the EST Hangout today. Gents, thanks for coming in early today, Zach. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed the haggis.
That's what I came in for, really.
Fergie, thanks for bringing the haggis.
You're welcome.
I appreciate
Thank you
it.
for the invitation.
Dustyn, it was great having you on for
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah,
Talk
great
some
being
Yankees.
here.
Thank you for bringing some college football talk. It
Yeah,
was great.
anytime.
You guys learned about the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah.
Do I owe anybody an apology at this point?
I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think for the most part.
Have you been checking the chat?
No one said anything like get this old man off the air or something like that. So
Okay.
Not yet.
I think we're all good. Yeah.
Cool.
No, we're pretty set.
Another good day.
Check. You've earned the right to get another invite back.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate that.
Thanks to everyone for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Up next, it will be the Lock Shop with Dusty and Haas. Once again, thanks to Dustyn with a Y, Fergie's Prostate, and Zachticum for coming in on the Hangout. On behalf of these three, I'm Matt. Thanks again for tuning in. Big Uke says, good luck, Ferg, with the thumbs up in your crib. As I've mentioned, Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Don't go anywhere.
Season good.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here, joining us today.